Hi, everyone. GameHounds podcast. We are back. How are you? Nick and I are here. And I want to also, before we do anything else, once again say as a reminder, actually, as news and a reminder. Remember, I said that we are not going to have a show on the 15th because I'm going to be driving back from Los Angeles. We are also not going to have a show on the 8th next week. We have 2 weeks off.
Okay.
The reason being is I have tickets to the Giants game, which wouldn't necessarily be a huge thing. I would just not go. But it's Hello Kitty Day at the ballpark, so I gotta be there to get the swag, the sweet, sweet Hello Kitty Giant swag. So I'm going. I don't know who's going with me. I have 6 tickets. I have 4 in the Alaska Airlines lounge area and my 2 that are in the view box behind home plate. So I have 6 tickets. I don't know if anybody's going to go with me, but I don't care. I'm going. I'm tired of people going, I don't really want to go, and then me not going. Nope, not this time. I'm going to Hello Kitty Day, and y'all can just suck it. So, who's in the chat room? Anybody yet? Oh yeah, we got a couple people. Hi, how are you? We need to start the show, and then we need to talk about Nightreign.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it. I didn't play too much. I booted up a little bit.
Don't do the show before the show. Let's start the show, and then we'll do the show. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
This podcast discusses video games, pop culture, and technology, and these podcasters have big, fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom said to take out the trash and do your homework.
Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode, what is it? Episode 783. We are recording this on Sunday, April 1st, 2025. Or sorry, did I say April? Sorry, June 1st, 2025. Yeah. Hey, happy June. We've got Nick DiNicola and me, and we are talking Nightreign because Nick very graciously, after I said last week that I would play Nightreign, despite the fact that I don't like brutal games that, hurt me, like Elden Ring is. That's why I didn't play Elden Ring. I enjoyed watching Nick play it, didn't want to play it myself. I caved to pressure from both Nick and the boyfriend and said I would play Nightreign. Nick bought me a copy. So then I had to play Nightreign. So as much as we love to talk banter and stuff back and forth about stuff about what's going on in the week, let's just get into Elden Ring Nightreign.
Okay. So for me, this was like kind of a test of the Rogue Ally. Because that's a PC handheld, and I bought the PC version of the game so I could play with you and Chris, because unfortunately it's not crossplay. And it worked pretty well. I booted it up, it ran. I didn't play too much. I played through the tutorial, got my ass kicked by the boss, as you do in a From Software game. And then I spent a little bit of time switching to characters, exploring the round table hold, and there's like a training ground where you can like resurrect an enemy and just kind of play against them one-on-one to try to get how the different classes play. And so I did that with a couple different classes to just experiment, see how it ran. I haven't played a live game yet, but I'm ready to do so anytime.
So I'm very curious about a thing that you said about going through the intro and fighting the boss and getting your ass kicked by the boss, which is what you do. So you didn't beat the boss in that?
The Fell Omen?
Yeah.
I did not.
So you're
Did
not
you?
supposed to?
I mean, you can, but it's generally considered like really hard. That boss in particular, in the original Elden Ring, is like the first like oh fuck boss. That's the first boss you encounter that's like, this is gonna test your skills.
Okay.
Did you beat it?
I have
play it?
not left the intro area because I keep restarting the game because I can't beat the boss. I have restarted that game probably 25 times quietly because I have not wanted to say I can't beat the boss because I'm not going to sell the boy that I can't beat the boss. I am just going to think to myself that I suck and I just need to keep doing this until I can get it so that I can progress. Because if I can't get this, I can't play the rest of the game.
No, that boss fucked me over.
Okay, yeah, I got it down to half. There was once I got it down to half.
That's impressive. For me, I was like, oh shit, the like movement, because I'm used to playing the first Berserker Kazan. That's the most recent Souls like I played, and that game moves a lot faster than Elden Ring, even Nightreign, which is sped up considerably. So I kept dodging, and I was like, oh shit, the dodge is just a little slow. And so every time that boss did the move where he like throws 18 knives at you.
Yes, you just have to keep dodging. You essentially just have to run in a circle. Just run as fast as you can.
I dodge, stand up, got hit, shit. Dodge, stand up, get hit, shit.
Yeah.
Dodge, stand up, get hit, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much that was like probably the first 10 times I did it.
Well, you know what? That's very good practice.
Okay. All right. I mean, I was frustrated and angry the whole time, and I would have quit except for the fact that, I have to keep trying. I'm being forced to keep trying because of you.
I mean, no, you don't have to keep trying. You die, and then you go on with the rest of
that's
the
what I felt so frustrating. It's like I had to quit while I'm dying so that I could restart, because otherwise I have to go through that whole thing with the girl talking to you, get to the end, and then quit and then restart.
No, when you die, you die once, and then you come back, and because like you get one respawn. And then when you die a second time, you spawn in the round table hold, which is like the hub of the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
and if you don't beat it the first time, you're not going to survive because you don't have the rogue to help you.
Yeah. And I thought that too. When I went back a second time, I was like, oh shit, I don't have the person helping me. Oh,
Yeah,
this is going to be
no
a real
way.
pain.
Yeah, there's no way I can beat that.
And like
that's why I had to keep restarting. I would lose, restart, lose, restart, lose, restart.
And like that is like that's the lesson that the boss is like all the Dark Souls games have it. The Sekiro had this. You fight a boss, and the first boss is always beatable, but you're really low level, and it's a really high level boss, and it's usually going to kick your ass unless you're really fucking good, because that's the game saying, we are going to kill you, and you have to deal with that. just like, don't worry about it. You're gonna die. Just come back later. Because
yeah, I mean, the fact
what
that
I've heard
it went on after I lost the second time, and it went on, it told me, okay, actually, what I thought it was saying is like, all right, you suck. You're going to quit anyway pretty soon. So let's just get this over with. Let's just get you through the rest of the tutorial so that you can play the game and then you can quit. We're going to get you through the minimum amount of hours to play this game so that you can't get it refunded by Steam. That's what I thought that was.
No, yeah. And for me, I know that boss. And so when I got into it, I was like, oh, okay, Fell Omen, I can do this. No. It's been too long since I played Elden Ring. My Elden Ring skills specifically have atrophied, and I was not able to get him. I don't think I even got him down to half health.
Yeah, I got him down to half health once. And I still haven't, I have not figured out how to throw the bombs yet very well. So,
Yeah, it took me a little while. I think up on the D-pad will use the item that you have selected.
Right.
So if you select a bomb or something and you hit up on the D-pad, that will use it.
But I will, yeah.
The X button on an Xbox controller does your health, which for me was a little weird because I don't believe that's how it is in Elden Ring. They've changed the controls a little bit. So for the first time I fought that boss, I was like, I kept hitting up. I'm like, why the fuck am I not healing? I've got where's my health?
Well, you can remap. You can remap your controller if you need to. I did notice that.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I want to,
because I mean the fact that it's like the trigger is using a skill and the bumper is actually just a light attack is opposites to what I would play. It's like the trigger is always a light attack. The bumper is going to be the skill.
Interesting.
Yeah. I did a lot of like, okay, how do I do this? Wait a minute. What uses a skill and why isn't this skill using the way it should? And why am I swinging and not actually hitting things? Because I thought I was target locked on them. I don't know. Anyway, well, that makes me feel slightly better.
Yes, I'm sorry that you had to go through all that and get frustrated with it because the boss will kill 90% of players.
I was fine as long as Chris was in the other room. If Chris came into the room, I would shut down the computer instantly. Because I don't want him to see me fail. Because he'd just go, well, what you should do is...
I want to know, did Chris beat that boss?
Chris hasn't started it.
Okay. Well, when he does, watch him. Watch him and be like, okay, beat this guy. Do it.
No. I'm going to give him his privacy like he gave me. He's hopefully going to give me mine.
Because I have been looking at the various classes, and I think the good one for you, which a lot of people do like, is called Iron Eye, and they're basically an archer.
Yes, I've been thinking about the archer, but I kind of want to get up close and personal, but I kind of don't. There is the Berserker looks really cool.
Yeah,
and has a lot of ability. The nice thing about the Iron Eye is it can create like this essentially stone everybody can stand on and shoot down, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's like an instant cheese character.
Yeah,
a walking cheese, so to speak. So okay, well that makes me feel slightly better, but yeah, you put this, I mean, I'm playing it now on a very high-end PC. So first, playing it on a PC. Second, playing it on a very high-end PC with like top-of-the-line cards as of 6 months ago. Graphics cards. And my screen is an OLED television that I'm sitting in front of.
Okay.
So it looks unfucking believable. Oh my God. Especially when you're sitting this close to it. It's like
when you can see all the little details.
You're literally on top of it and it's just beautiful. Oh, yeah, it's gorgeous. But I'm okay. I mean, I'm hoping to get done with this show fairly soon because Chris just went to a movie, and if he went to a movie, that means I have 2 hours of private time to play this game and suck at it as much as I possibly can, so that I can not suck when you guys see me.
Okay, well, like I said, based on the videos I've watched, this play is very different from Elden Ring.
Okay,
and like my tendency in these type of games is to take things pretty slow, to like walk everywhere. Like, oh, I want to go. Oh, what that looks interesting. I'm gonna go over there, check it out. Oh, what's that? I'm gonna go over there and check it out. What I gather in this game, I need to erase all that expectation. Because this is a game that's like, you're gonna be dropped into this area, and you have 15 minutes to kill a bunch of enemies, kill some mini bosses, level up, find items, find weapons, find loot, and then you'll fight like the boss of that day. And it takes place over 3 days, 15 minutes, so like 45 minutes total. And that's the process. You get dropped in, you have 15 minutes to collect loot and level up, and then you fight a boss. And if you succeed, you go to day 2, where you repeat that. And if you get to day 3, then you fight like the Nightreign boss. And you can choose which boss you fight from the menu. So before you go out on an expedition, you can choose, I'm going to fight this boss or the second boss or the third boss. And so that kind of gives you a sense of how you should prepare. Because some bosses like, oh, they're weak to lightning. So, okay, I want to go find some lightning equipment. So that's the general gameplay loop, but that loop like runs counter to my natural instincts in these type of games. So you're worried about sucking. I need to like unlearn all of my tendencies.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. I read something when I was doing my research for today's news on VG 24/7 that made me almost want to go get a refund on that game. And like it was it I'm glad that you said that I wasn't supposed to be able to beat really the opening boss. Because of course I'm dealing with like, oh, I did not beat the opening boss and I'm just going to have to keep going through this until I actually get the opening boss. And I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe it's okay if I suck a little bit. And then there was an article. Let's see if I can bring it up. Let me see. It was an article by one of their writers, Connor Makar. And it was about how, let me see, where is it? It was about how they've kind of dialed back the difficulty. There we go. And I will post it here. Let me take this out. Oops, sorry. And I will post it to here so that you can see it. All right. Come on. There it is. This one, Elden Ring Nightreign update offers solo players a helping hand not even 24 hours after launch because cowards cried too loud. A solo run, which is already scaled so the bosses have less health and offers a purchasable revive before Night Lord fight for measly 10,000 runes, was added for those who enjoy the challenge of taking on a game intended for group play on their lonesome. Fair play, you know. But it's not how I best enjoyed the game, but Godspeed Captain, take the wheel. For those who are actually excited to take on the game with all that struggle, blah, 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 their dreams have been hampered by the wails and moans of little babies who want the solo experience to be easier.
Okay.
They want their warm bottle little bib and for the process of actually overcoming the challenge of the Nightreign to be lowered so they don't have to work as hard to succeed.
I mean,
and that right there, first off, I wanted to make a comment to him saying, is this the guy who like made a big article about Randy Pitchford insulting his fans? And then goes on to insult his readers? Number one. Number two is it made me like want to just sell the game going, clearly this is not my game. If this is what like a journalist in a news site says about what like people that are like me, maybe this isn't my game.
No, this guy sounds like Connor. What's his name? Connor something.
Connor Dickhead. Connor Makar.
Connor Makar is like the cliche Souls-like elitist. The guy who unironically says
people are struggling to beat bosses and need help, you may ask. Here's a hot tip. Go and ask your dad if you can use the internet, shake the gent's hand, then take the boss online.
Yeah. Because
child.
I've heard that, yeah, they patched to make solo mode easier because one of the criticisms that the game has received unanimously across all reviews is it's not balanced for solo play. So he might say, "Oh yeah, this is absurd. Oh, it's meant to be a challenge." But that's
This
the
guy
minority
right here, that guy right here, this one, that's an asshole right there.
And based on what I've seen of videos, one of the early end bosses you fight is this 3-headed dog. And halfway through the fight, the 3 heads split off to become 3 different dogs, because that fight is designed so that the 3 different players kind of aggro the 3 different dogs, so that, okay, you've got each player taking on their own dog. But if it's just you, all of a sudden that means you're fighting 3 different enemies, 3 bosses. And that's really hard. So yeah, no, the balance for solo play, or the imbalance for solo play, was a major criticism across all early reviews. So
And
the
I've
fact
heard
that
they did the same thing for 2. They never considered duo play as being a possibility either.
they didn't do dual play, but that got patched in almost immediately.
For
Not
the little
patched in,
babies who only want to play with their one friend.
modded in, I should say, not patched. Like it's an unofficial mod, the dual play. So yeah, don't fuck Connor. Don't listen to him. He's the guy that unironically says "get good."
Yeah, get good,
like,
scrub.
No.
Yeah, but it's like, here I am. I'm like, all right, maybe maybe I'm okay enough to try this. And as I'm doing it, I read that, and it's like, oh, okay, so maybe this isn't my game. Maybe if this is what like somebody in the industry is telling his readers, clearly he's speaking to who he thinks are his people.
Yeah, but you can still be a dickhead and be like a journalist and write for a website.
Right, but it's that, when you have a journalist that is writing like that, you're assuming that his audience are people that also think like that. Which means that's, and it's not like this is like a niche site. This is VG 24/7. This is a broad spectrum site about the gaming industry, which says to me, the broad spectrum audience think people like me shouldn't play Nightreign.
Maybe that says a lot about VG 24/7 audience.
Maybe. I mean, no, the VG 24/7 audience is kind of like it's pablum. It's just a generic news site.
But
it's
no,
like
that's the kind of attitude that anyone who, I will say it, anyone who's a true fan of a Souls-like and From Software hates those types of people, because those types of people are the elitist dickheads that convince other people not to play the games.
Right. Which
if it was up to him,
because to be honest, they need people to buy this game. You're making
it's a co-op game.
Including people who
it's multiplayer.
Yeah, you need more people to be playing this game.
If everyone, look, Elden Ring sold like 30 million copies.
Random Rick, fuck off. I can tell you to fuck off because Connor's not in front of me. And if you know Connor, you can tell him I said fuck off.
Yeah, Elden Ring sold like 30 million copies. You can't sell that many copies and like actually like to that kind of an audience.
Right. True. If you have 30 million copies sold, that's great, but it's a multiplayer game. That's not enough.
No, I feel like he's the type of player who probably played Elden Ring and never summoned in someone to help. Even though that's a system in the game, he probably never did that because he's like, no, I can do this myself. He probably didn't even use the summoning abilities you have in the game because like, no, I'm going to play by myself. I'm not going to summon an AI helper to help me.
Yeah.
There was a Viva La Dirt League skit about Dark Souls, and it's like, oh, get good,
scrub.
And
that's how I learned what get good was, because otherwise I would have no idea. But yeah, it was like, what was it? They have a whole series of just Elden Ring,
except
realities.
They at least in like the final video were like talked about, oh, when we say get good, this is what we really mean. And it was like an actual thoughtful, nuanced exploration of like, no, try and fail and try and fail, because through failure you learn. And it's like, oh yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. It's like, it's supposed to be challenging, but it's not supposed to be impossible. It's not a challenge that like it's supposed to make you feel bad about yourself. It's a challenge that you seek to overcome, because in overcoming that, you learn about, like, you know, how to overcome challenge in general. And it's like, oh yes, that's good. I want this game to push back on me because I want something to overcome.
Right.
But when you have people like, oh, you're a pussy because
That's right.
you played.
Little baby needs help. Does little baby need help from somebody? Or do we need to change your nappy and give you a nice warm bottle? So fuck off.
No, yeah, that's the kind of elitist that gives the franchise and the genre a bad name.
Yeah, I mean, it also gives VG 24/7 a bad name as well, because it just means like, wow, I'm your reader and I'm offended. Did anybody like think that maybe you shouldn't offend your audience? Somebody just decided to go full Randy Pitchford on their own readers. Anyway, GameHounds, Lego games only for us. By the way, I'm terrible at doctors. All right, so that's Elden Ring Nightreign. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's beautiful. I am not giving up just yet, but I would have, based on that article and also that boss that I couldn't beat at the beginning, because I figured I just suck and maybe this game is just too hard for me. Now that I know, if you hadn't bought it for me, I would have refunded it, because it's like, yeah, I don't think I can do this.
I probably should have like said, I didn't even think about the traditional boss kills you in the beginning, because like I've played so many of these games. This is like, oh yeah, that's how it works.
Right.
But like, you don't play those games. You wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think about to like warn you.
The only thing that I had as a reference was, what was that spiders game that I liked so much?
Oh, Greedfall.
Greedfall. Is that the boss at the end of the tutorial at Greedfall was fucking hard. Oh my God, it was hard. Brutally. I can't believe they put that, because the rest of the game was easy. That is insane, and I had to beat it to get past it. So it was something I had to beat, and which meant that it was possible. As it was, I had to drop it down to puss mode, complete puss mode, because I couldn't beat it at regular. And then afterwards, I put it up to normal. Not a problem. It's totally easy game.
Yeah,
but that first boss was horrible, and I thought maybe that's what this is like. Is it this first boss is either this is what I'm about to play for the next however many hours I play this game, or this is just a really hard boss that I have to figure out how to do, and this is going to make the rest of the game easier. I don't know, but I'm just going to keep doing this boss over and over and over until that one time when I actually get to beat it.
I mean, for what it's worth, as AC Ray says, none of the comments agree with the author. The article, but also like, you got the right mindset. You're like, hey, I'm gonna fucking beat this guy. This motherfucker.
No, I'm not pissed off at him. I'm just like, well, I guess this is what I have to do in order to play this game, is just to keep trying at this. And you know, I'm not going to enjoy it, but I mean, I'll just go do it over and over so I can finally get past this, so I can actually play with my friends. It's not like I was enjoying it. It was just, it was a grind. And so now I know I don't have to grind that guy. No. And I feel pretty okay that I got him down to half health.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. For being just like level 2, which like I think...
No, it was 7. You went from 6 to 7.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when you go into the little room right before him and you level up.
Yeah.
You drop off your runes and level up, you go from 6 to 7.
Oh, okay.
Trust me, I've done it.
Yeah.
Many, many times.
I'll believe you. So
and
yeah.
when I pick up my runes after dying, I run back to that room so that I can level up.
Oh, that's a good
And
idea.
also because it resets my meter, my revive meter. But then there's nobody to revive me. So
Yeah. Yeah, go let yourself die and then like get a chance to play around with the other characters.
yeah.
Maybe after
Right.
this sometime we'll hop into a game together with some random guy who, I'm sorry, random guy, you're going to lose because we will both be kind of working through learning the game. And
Hey, if
you'll just
anybody in the chat room wants to be random guy, please let us know because right after this, I'm probably going to do that.
yeah. He's gonna be like going this way, pinging this, pinging that, and I'm gonna be like, oh, what's that over there?
That's right. Let's
Oh,
go
what's that up there?
pick some
Oh,
daisies.
there's a tiny little enemy here. Let me focus on killing him as he's fighting some boss up there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, there's a lizard. I'm gonna kill the lizard.
So yeah, that's Nightreign. That's all I played. That was my big game of the week. And other than Donut County, that's right. I played Donut County. I
Oh,
just
nice.
finished it this morning.
Those are two complete opposites of this.
Yeah, complete opposites. And yeah, Donut County's fine. It's a whole game. I
remember really liking the writing. I remember thinking
writing
the
was
writing
really
was really funny.
the writing is very, very funny. The actual, unlike All in a Hole, where it's just make things fall into the hole, this actually has like puzzles you have to solve. Like
Yeah.
figure out like, what do I want to do? I want to get the burning thing and swallow that, and then I get the rocket, and then the rocket will shoot, or then I need to like flip this lever by kicking something out, catapulting something out of the hole. So it only once did I have to rely upon a how-to solve. And it was apparently a really notoriously difficult to figure out one. But yeah, I but otherwise I did like the fact that there were little like, little interesting puzzles that you had to figure out, as opposed to it's a speed run trying to get to stuff and then going to the next level.
Yeah.
Grinder.
That's what I remember enjoying about it too. It's like, oh, it's a whole game, but there's thought put into it.
Right, yeah. And the writing is very, very funny. No complaints there. So yeah. And I did have to pay for it. I believe it's $5.99.
Yeah, it's currently AC Wraith says it's currently 70% off on Steam.
Oh, I did not buy it on Steam. I bought it on my phone. So I bought it in the App Store.
Nice. That's cool. It's on the phone.
Yeah, that's how I played the entire thing on my phone.
I might have to check that out.
Yeah. And I enjoyed the hell out of it. I'm not gonna lie, I really did. And it was fun. So yeah, if you're looking for a little, and it's kind of nice because there's different levels, different like vignettes that are part of it, are this multi-stage kind of whole based puzzle, figure it out how to get what you need to get. So it maybe takes tops 15 minutes. I mean, if you figure out what you're doing, it'll take 5 minutes. If you don't know what you're doing, it'll take 15.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's nice because, especially on a phone, because you can play a little bit of it and then stop. But boy, it chews up your battery bad.
Oh, does it?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So those are my 2 games.
I played a little bit of Nightreign, as I mentioned. I was also up until 4 a.m. last night, finishing Act 2 of Expedition 33, and holy fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know where this game is gonna go. Like, the end of Act 2 feels like, oh, this is a sequel. Like, the game ended, and then like we're on to sequel territory now. Like what's nice is like the world that you go into is so weird, and there's like the contrast between the people in the city of Lumiere, and then when they get to the continent, it's like filled with these super dangerous and super goofy characters, and you're like, there's such a weird tonal imbalance to the world, even though the game is like really balanced tonally.
Mm-hmm.
And what's impressive is at the end of Act 2, they explain what's going on.
Right.
They explain the nature of the world and why things are the way they are. And it's fucking crazy. And I certainly never would have predicted it. But like, as I was sitting in bed, like after like 4 a.m., as I'm like brushing my teeth, I'm sort of thinking about it. I'm like, oh, okay. So they like this happened because of this, and this person was there because of that, and this person kind of recognized this person because of this. And I'm like working through going, oh shit, like all the weirdness is actually makes sense. But then I'm like, what happens now? Like they've explained the nature of the world, but I have no idea what comes next because I know that the game keeps going. I know there's a whole other act, but I'm like, how does it continue? I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. And so I am very excited to keep playing some because I don't know how the story keeps going. It feels like this is the end, but it does keep going.
Hmm.
And yeah,
I'm very tempted to play this game. I'm
it's so
very
it
tempted. The
it's
more
so
I see
fucking
about
good.
it, the more I'm intrigued.
What's also nice is that uh the boss of Act 2 is pretty challenging, but I feel like I've I haven't grinded at all in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I do, as you go through the game, uh, you could probably run past a lot of enemies, but I fight every enemy that I see just because I want to fight them. You get items for fighting them. Sometimes you level up your weapons from fighting them, and you get experience from fighting them.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, I've leveled up quite a bit. And I've got like this really nice synergy with my team where the person who goes first will always set someone on fire. And then if I there's a ability you can give to people where if you attack someone who's burning, you heal 25% of your health.
Oh, nice.
So I equip that on everybody, and I
Yeah.
make sure that the boss is like always on fire.
And then you
Uh,
can't hardly be beaten.
yeah. So it's
Nice.
really cool. I've got like a system set up for the mage character
Mm-hmm.
where every time she shoots a gun, which is kind of a free action, she generates a stain, which is kind of like a magical energy. And she can
Mm-hmm.
hold 4 of those at once.
Right.
And I've equipped her with enough uh, action point boosting things so that first round in the game, I shoot the enemy 4 times, get a total of 4 stains, and then I can execute a low cost attack that uses all of those 4 stains for really heavy attacks. And so it's nice that, oh, if I have like a certain number of points, I can just wreck a lot of enemies right out of the gate with some heavy arsenal. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I the way the system's set up, it's like, oh, I've got this. And it feels good. And so the boss that felt like a good challenge, I beat it my first try just because I think I had a pretty good setup. And over the course of the fight, I it's a game where they make a big deal out of the action elements to it. Well, oh, you want to parry these attacks and you need to dodge these attacks. Like you do, but you also don't. Like every now and then you get a bonus for parrying, where if you parry them, you'll get action points. And if you
Right.
dodge, you won't get action points, but you also won't get hurt.
Right.
A lot of times the attacks, the patterns are hard to follow, and so I'll dodge them just to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
But when you see the attacks a little bit, you kind of get that sense of timing in your head. Like the boss had one attack where there's like 8 things in the air and they all come at you. But they all come at you like doo, 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 one at a time in a pretty predictable rhythm. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's like, oh, that first one is always a little iffy, But once that first one hits, I can parry all the subsequent 7 ones because they go in a predictable pattern.
Right.
And I think there's quite a few enemy moves like that. And so like they make a big deal out of these action elements, but the action elements aren't hard. Like this isn't a Dark Souls level of challenging game where, oh, you have to parry these things or you'll die. It's no, the parry is a bonus, but if you outfit your characters really well, if you just dodge every now and then, you'll be good. And even then, you'll parry some just because it's kind of naturally easy to. And so, yeah, the combat feels really good because it's got this good level of challenge where it pushes back on you, but it doesn't kill you. At least not often.
Yeah.
But
and I'm contrasting this to what I know to be Elden Ring and maybe Nightreign, I don't know, is that, you're rewarded by having geared out your team so that they are working synergistically, so that something that should be difficult is much, much easier. And that I love that part of games when it's like, oh, between equipment and how I've geared my different characters and how I've built my different characters, I'm actually thinking strategically about how to work together, and that I'm rewarded for that by it being something that would have normally been almost incredibly impossible or very, 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 very hard. All of a sudden is like, hey, it's doable. Hey, I did the right thing. I thought about how to build my team and I get rewarded for it. And
Yeah.
I have a feeling that doesn't really happen in Elden Ring. It doesn't get any easier.
No, I mean it does and it doesn't. Look, in Elden Ring, once I got the Moonveil Katana, which I'm sure Connor would say is a wuss weapon, I love that thing. And I played for a long, long time. Once I got to like level 150, the game, I could go through most of the game and kill all the bosses pretty easily. Like the challenge was, oh, I can do this. Granted, Melania still owned me. But like most other bosses I could beat in like 2 or 3 tries.
Yeah.
But that's like level 150.
You had to go through a lot of shit to get to level 150.
It takes a very long time. But like Elden Ring is a 300-hour game. So first 150 hours you'll be challenged. Other 150 hours you'll mostly sail through. But that's a long time. But yeah, I would also recommend, like, if you don't have the time to play it or whatever, it's just worth even like watching a walkthrough or a playthrough of the game because the story is so compelling and so interesting. For Expedition 33, I mean.
Yeah. True. Well, all right. So Expedition 33 obviously still captures your imagination and your wonderment.
Yes.
And to be honest, it's really just a matter of time. In fact, I am not buying it yet because I anticipate that there's going to be a time with Nightreign that I'm going to be completely demoralized and I will need to go play something like that game so that I can feel like I'm working on a team and that I'm not being brutalized by both my team and the game and the journalists who are writing about it. Yeah. Like the whole world stacked against you. It's like, maybe you shouldn't do this.
No, ignore that guy. He's a
I know. But anyway, moving right along. Anything else did you play this week?
A little bit of Creepy Dinosaur Redneck Mansion 3. I'm nearing the end of it. That game continues to be really fun as it gets more and more meta with the main character not only realizing he's in a game, but he's realizing he's in an unpublished, unfinished game. He's like, oh, fuck. I want the world to see our game. So now he started to hack the game to try to get it released to the internet. So he had the misfortune of going online and realizing, oh, Jesus Christ, I don't want to be here. The internet is a terrible place. I want to go back to the mansion.
And as a last thing, I've been still continuing to play Dice and Fold, still enjoying the crap out of it. It's nice because I can listen to meetings, like, city council meetings and stuff that I'm supposed to be paying attention to, but I really, really don't care about. And I could just sit there and play Dice and Fold and listen.
Should I download this for like my weekly one-on-one meetings? So my weekly team meetings?
Oh, this is an ideal game for that, because you don't need to hear anything. There's, the music is great, but you don't need to hear it. And it's just simply strategy. So you just turn down or you turn up the gameplay, but microphone or the music just so you could hear it. But then people in the Zoom meeting can't hear it. You can just like play. Also, and something that I forgot to mention about Dice and Fold, which makes me love it even more, especially at the beginning, the early stages of it, is that you actually have an undo button. Like say, I fucked up. I shouldn't have done that. Damn it. I didn't mean to play that dice there. It's like my brain, I just was stupid. Should not have played that dice there or that die there.
Oh, is this not on iOS?
Undo. No, it's not iOS. It's
Damn.
No, you just put that on. That's what I did. I put Zoom on one side of the screen and I put this on the other side of the screen, and I just kind of split my attention between the two. Kept one ear out in case my name was called, and then would do what I needed to do to
Yeah, Edie, what are your thoughts? Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. I think I need the shopkeeper. What? Oh, Vulture.
Yeah. It's like, oh, Edie, what do you think? It's like, I think I agree with you, but I think that there's a little more nuance to it. Are there any other possibilities? Like, where do you see, if we do that, where do you see possibly where it might be going wrong? Like, what are the risks here are there any risks that I'm not seeing, that you're not seeing? Is anybody else seeing any risks that, and mitigations that we could probably put in place as a plan B in case those come up, and open it up to everybody else and say, oh, this is what I think. People want their opinion. It's like opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one and everybody wants to talk about it, but nobody wants to see it. Nobody else wants to see it. If you could open it up and say, hey, everybody show me your assholes, people will absolutely tell you their opinions because they want their input gained. So then you come off as a great team member who listens to everybody. When in fact, you're listening to nobody. You haven't heard a damn thing. This, gentlemen and ladies, this is why you need to always listen to the person who has been able to cope with ADHD for a half a century. We've got coping mechanisms that we could successfully navigate the fact that we didn't hear half of what you just said. Because you said something 10 minutes ago that went into a long train of thought that played a movie in front of my face and behind my eyes, where I just went off on this tangent about something. It reminded me of something that happened when I was in high school. And then I play that back in my head, and then I play back like, what should I have done better? Man, I really hate that. I wonder what happened to that guy. And all of a sudden, somebody says, hey, Edie, what do you think? It's like, I think you're right, but I'm wondering if we're missing something here. Like, are there any risks? And if there are risks, maybe we should make a list of risks and open it up. Like, does anybody see any other risks that I'm not seeing? And are there mitigations that we should maybe have in place ahead of time so that if they do come up, I mean, what does anybody else think?
That's leadership right there. Mm-hmm. All I can think of is that scene in Office Space where the two guys are like, oh yeah, that one dude, that's leadership material there.
Leadership material. And he's like yep. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, I like him. Yeah,
we like him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's if the harder you try to be a good leader, the worse a leader you're going to be.
God,
The best leader is one who hasn't listened to a thing and just opens it up to the floor.
I was just thinking, I cannot believe how well that movie still holds up.
Oh, I know. Isn't it crazy after all the, when did it come out? When did people who speak slowly for emphasis don't get it? They're making the situation worse. Yeah. When did Office Space come out? It came out in 1999. That is a 26-year-old movie, and it's actually even more accurate now. That somebody would write a little code that would steal a micro bit
Oh, yeah.
of a coin that would normally just be a rounding error. That's like fully what somebody would do today. Absolutely, they would do that.
I didn't even remember that part, but you're right.
It is a game that is it is a game. It is a movie so ahead of its time it didn't even realize how ahead of its time it was. So anyway, yeah, if you haven't seen Office Space, go see Office Space. Somewhere on the internet is a video that I made at JetBlue when I worked in the ramp at JetBlue in Oakland, because we had was it a printer or a scanner? I think it was a printer. We had a printer that would not work. So we went out, like we got a new printer. So it's like, okay, let's get rid of the old one. And I'm like, we should take it out to the dumpster, and we should go full Office Space on it. And the guys were like, what's Office Space? So I'm like, here, watch this scene. And they're like, oh yeah, we're going full Office Space on it. So I went out and I filmed them kicking the shit out of that printer. And then I put it to the Office Space, and it's hilarious. So fucking funny.
So, okay.
Die, motherfucker, die.
Explain this. Why is he linking to Superman 3?
I don't know. Do you think that much of me, really?
Is that also?
Thank you very much, AC Wraith, for giving us a like. I see that there was a like that was given on Facebook. Thank you. And if anybody is listening and hasn't hit a like, please do it. Like and a thumbs up right now. I do see them. I will call you out for them. And I will say thank you personally from the bottom of my heart. Anyway, that's where the virus idea came from. Office Space. Oh, that's right. Wow. I need to watch that movie again. We should have a watch party.
Office Space or Superman 3?
No, of Office Space. We should have a watch party in Discord of Office Space again. I mean, see it again for me. There we go. The printer scene. Yeah, the printer scene. Man, I wonder if I can find that video I filmed on my
that you made.
I made on an iPhone 3. That's how long ago it was.
iPhone 3. Oh my god. I recently found an old, the first iPhone I ever bought. I found it in a drawer, and it's like it's half the size of this thing. And looking at it, realizing, oh shit, this is so tiny. This is what we had? Mm-hmm. How did we survive with this?
Yeah. God, I'm trying to see. I'm hoping. Did I put it on YouTube? I did not put it on YouTube. I think I might have put it on Facebook. I'll find it. It's out there. Because I did not put it on my account, because this was the AOA. This is the, behind the gates of the Oakland airport, JetBlue, I wasn't going to have my name on it. I wasn't going to have anything that identified anybody. I knew who it was, and they knew who they were, but I wasn't going to have anything identifiable on there.
Oh, there are no faces in it?
Oh, there's faces, but unless you know them, you wouldn't know that they're JetBlue agents or JetBlue ramp guys. Yeah, I can't find it. I'll find it. I just forgot about that until just now. I mean, this was what, 2008. Yeah, 2008. As long ago as this podcast has been going, I made that video. So I'll go home. I'll also see if I can find it. Anyway, any other games you want to mention or movies you want to mention before we close out or before we move on to news?
I think I saw anything.
Oh, The Accountant 2
no.
is very good. Stands alone. Don't need to see The Accountant 1. I saw The
Yeah.
Accountant 2. Then last night I went back and we watched The Accountant 1.
Oh, I saw 2. Still haven't seen 1. I wanted to.
1 is very good.
Yeah.
2 is great. 1 is really, really clever because it doesn't say what's going on until you figure it out. And yeah, I mean, everything kind of happens at the end. The clarity, it takes a while for you to figure out what's going on. And then you know it for a long time before the characters know it. But only at the very, very end do the characters figure out, oh shit, okay, this has happened. All right. And, scene. So it's very cleverly written in a very plausible way. And it makes Accountant 2 work so much better because each of the characters in Accountant 2 end up talking to each other and relating to each other and conversing with each other. All of those characters don't connect with each other at all. It's like 3 separate stories happening in exactly the same time that are connected, but they're not connected. Like people don't meet each other in 1 who end up meeting each other and working with each other because they're on different sides of the law in 2. So it's when you take it together, they're 2 very different stories told very, very well. And when you connect them, it kind of creates this bigger pastiche, this bigger story. Yeah, I would recommend seeing 1 before 2, but you don't have to see 1 before 2. 2 stands on its own. And when you go back to 1, then you have the pieces together and go, oh, that's who she is. Or, oh, that's what he was talking about, how you almost got him fired. Oh, now it makes sense.
Cool. Okay. I gotta go check that out. I've been meaning to watch that for a while.
Which one? Accountant 2 or Accountant 1?
Accountant 1.
Yeah, go see Accountant 1's really good. I would venture to guess it's it's other than the obvious Oscar winners, it is one of Ben Affleck's best movies.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, anything else before we hit the news, sir?
Corey Wallace is on.
Hold on. Sorry about that. Meant to hit that wrong thing. Oops. Hi, honey. Oh, we missed you. Hi, Corey.
Welcome home.
Hey, have you hit the thumbs up? Hit the like button. Show me. I know I can see it. I can see when you do. Hit the like.
Hit the like button, or we're kicking you out of the house.
You want to eat tonight? Hit the like button. You want dinner? Yeah, let's hit the news, and let's not do it in a really obnoxious way. Stop! God, you're annoying. God, when this thing is annoying, it's really fucking annoying. All right. Now, can I do this without you screaming in my ear the wrong music? Yes. Let's hit the news. This is the GameHounds news, the news, views, and commentary of the week in gaming with Gamer 80 and Nick Nicola. And our first item is...
I guess we'll start off with all of the EA shit shows.
Oh, good Lord. Good.
So it came out that EA canceled the Black Panther game that they were working on. And this is part of a larger deal they had to publish 3 games for Marvel. They say the deal is still on for 3 games, even though they've now canceled 1. So it's not clear where all the 3 games are going to come from. But they not only did they shut down the game, but they also shut down the studio that was making it. That would be
The
Cliffhanger
studio
Games.
that was created to make this game.
Yeah.
So
And it's
shut
even
down Cliffhanger before it even put out a single title.
and it's even more unfortunate because Cliffhanger was made from ex-Monolith people from Warner Brothers. So all the people left Monolith from Warner Brothers before Monolith got shut down by Warner Brothers to go to Cliffhanger Games at EA, only to get shut down again.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you
Yeah.
dodged one bullet to get hit by another one.
And a bunch of people that were working on it were there because they had been working on another, what was it? Some other, let's see where what was. Let's see. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. This is another closure that happened. But yes. Yes. Yeah. So I'm confused because, fun fact, this is the third, count it, 3 games that have been canceled in the last 3 months by EA. Started in early March with Respawn. They had an incubator game that was canceled, and that got leaked because a project coordinator or production coordinator put out a LinkedIn post after he or she, they got fired because the game had been canceled, that it happened. They were looking for a job because the game had been canceled. Now, nobody had known about this game before that. So, of course, they took down the LinkedIn post, but it was already out there. Reportedly, after investigations after the fact by, journalists, it was an multiplayer FPS that was spun off by members of an internal team within Respawn that were formerly working on a Star Wars FPS that also had been canceled the previous year. So they were on a Star Wars FPS. It got canceled. They moved them over to this other game, this incubator game that was another multiplayer FPS, and it got canceled too. So that was the first game. That was early March. Then in late April, it was a Respawn itself announced that they had canceled another incubation project because they had made an announcement that they had killed 2 unannounced incubator projects. Now, we knew about the first one, so this was like the second one was like, oh, this is an entirely new one that they also shit canned. So the one in March was first, and then another second one that we didn't know about previous to the announcement, obviously. So that second shooter was reportedly an extraction shooter set in the Titanfall universe, and it was codenamed R7. And IGN discovered in an investigation that roughly about 100 people lost their jobs from that one. So that's in late April. Then this one in May, that makes 3, and it includes shutting down not only the game, but also the studio that they'd only recently they created the studio to make this game. So they didn't even get to put out a game. They just shut down the studio. So yeah, not good. Just not a good look. Oh, and another thing that pisses me off about this game. Did you hear what this game was supposed to be like?
Yeah. Coming from a bunch of people who worked on Shadow of Mordor,
they had a
it
nemesis
was
system.
Supposed to have a nemesis system like Shadow
What
of
is it
Mordor.
about nemesis systems? It's like it's cursed. It's one of the best, the best mechanics, that most underused mechanics that have come out in many, like uniquely to way it changes a game, a whole game.
Yeah, no one should touch that system, because if you do, your game will be killed.
I know, it's the curse. It's the curse of the nemesis system. Yeah, so the story reportedly revolved around playing T'Challa, Killmonger, or Shuri as they each vie for who's going to be Black Panther. And the game would feature fights with shape-shifting Skrull showcased. I'm reading an article because I don't know anything about Black Panther, never saw it. Marvel's popular Secret Invasion comic book crossover event.
Okay.
So that's what the whole T'Challa, Killmonger, and Shuri, that was the nemesis system that they were creating around those. Or at least incorporating some elements of it in a way that Warner Brothers wouldn't sue them for patent infringement. Warner Brothers put that behind a patent and stuck it in a vault that nobody can use. So yeah, that would have been a game that I would have played. And I don't play Marvel games. I would have played that. If you'd have said it's got a Nemesis system, I would instantly have bought it and played it because I love that Nemesis system so much. And I want it to be supported so that other companies decide that to use it, to try it as well. So it gets incorporated into more games. But yeah, the announcement in an email to staff after this most recent closure, Laura Miele said the reason for the closure of Cliffhanger and the cancellation of Black Panther, obviously, was to, quote, sharpen our focus and put our creative energy behind the most significant growth opportunities. Translate, we are going to do market research on what's the new hot thing, and we're going to make that. We're not going to do any incubator. We are not going to do any, trying to find new interesting things to do with games. We are just going for the low-hanging fruit as much as we possibly can to keep the investors happy, to keep the shareholders happy.
Well,
We
I
don't
believe
take risks. We all want to do short-term thinking. We're not thinking long-term. Fuck the long-term. Long-term is not where the money is. The money is right now, and I would rather make $1 today than $10,000 tomorrow.
Yeah, like with all these cancellations, it really brings into question EA's ability to make a game or like to develop new games because they mentioned, I believe her email specifically mentioned, I'm getting this from IGN, Battlefield, The Sims, Skate, and Apex Legends. They're not mentioning the sports because EA Sports is under a different group. This is EA Entertainment.
Right.
That's been having all the cancellations. And it's like, well, those 4 franchises, like they're not Activision got away with, exploiting what was it? Guitar Hero into the ground, Tony Hawk into the ground, but they always had Call of Duty to fall back on.
Right.
And Call of Duty, no matter if they put out year after year after year, sold incredibly well. They also had that Candy Crush money to support them.
Oh, yeah.
EA is in a much more precarious situation because last year when Veilguard kind of flopped and they put out the quarterly statement about that, the more important news in that quarterly statement was that EAFC, their FIFA, not spinoff, but the continuation after they lost that license,
right,
had less money. So if they can't rely on FIFA to bring in the money, and if they can't rely on Madden, their sports games to like lift the industry, lift their whole business, like those 4 franchises, if this next Battlefield like is received with the same kind of indifference that 2042 was, that franchise is dead. Like they
arguably
EA
might be, but EA might have to be broken up again.
I mean, they have so many different studios working on that one game. But then even the Sims, and The Sims is a game that sells really well. Those DLC packs sell well, but it's not enough to keep the entire company afloat.
It's on the decline, and not only that, they have alienated a lot of the fan base, the hardcore fan base. I mean, there will always be hardcore fans because they will, they've already invested $2,000 or $3,000 into the franchise. So they're not going to stop, but there's not that many of them, and they're not bringing in any new players because so many people are pissed off about how they're being treated, how they're being listened to. A lot of people walked away after that last few updates.
And I think the same goes for Apex Legends. Like that game has kind of slowly gone downhill. There was a new Battle Pass monetization scheme that was really poorly received. They've committed to like big updates this year, but I don't think those have manifested yet. And Skate is, I think, it's a beloved franchise, but it's also kind of a niche franchise.
Yeah,
like, Skate is not Tony Hawk.
No, EA is hitting its twilight years, I think, and really, it's hitting its twilight years for a lack of imagination.
Yeah, and
this is what's wrong with having a public company: is that public companies do not they can't foster imagination. Their imagination happens before they go public, and then after that, it is just pablum. It is just iterative pablum for the rest of the time.
Yeah. Corey says,
Unless you have, like a personality, like a Elon Musk or Steve Jobs. That's the only way that you can iterate, is you have the personality that is stronger and bigger than the shareholders. And that doesn't happen very often.
I mean, that's especially hard for a game developer because they're also at the mercy of their publisher.
Right.
Yeah, Corey says they need to put out a new Battlefield. And everything we've seen, the new Battlefield looks like it'll be a hit. But like, damn, they need that to be a hit. They desperately need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, both EA and Bungie are like, it feels like these two big stalwarts of the industry are both kind of slowly circling the drain and just slowly having a bad time.
Yeah, forget your life, Mitch.
Really struggling.
It's no more obvious than Bungie. True. Yeah. So AC Wraith says we'll have to settle for the Black Panther team up with Captain America in Marvel 1943 Rise of the Hydra.
Yeah.
As opposed to the Secret Invasion MCU universe.
Oh my God. Do you want to watch some bad TV? Like, do you want to watch some TV that's like, you spent $200 million on something that is so fucking terrible. Really? Someone needs to be fired. Oh, Secret Invasion. It's after like a couple episodes, you need to keep watching because you're like, it can't get worse. And it does. And you're like, what the fuck? And like the last scene, the final ending ends, and you're like, what the fuck was that? Like, you invited genocide into the MCU and everything else, and like every other like Marvel property is like, we're not gonna touch that at all.
Yeah.
It's like you watch it and you go, what the fuck? The hero of this story is like, you're a horrible person. Why? Oh my God. It is one of the best, worst things. Like, if you want to watch something truly bad.
He says, those are the movies we could get Edie to watch. Invest her in the MCU without her having high expectations for later releases.
Oh, Black Panther. Yeah, Black Panther is good.
Yeah, I've heard Black Panther was really good.
Black Panther is good. If I could sell it to you in a pitch, it would be like James Bond meets Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm. AC Wraith linked to an article called Sympathy for the Devil, When Best Practices Are Worst Practices.
Yeah, he linked that in the Discord, which is a blog post by, Owen Mahoney. That's like a really good analysis of like what the pitch process is like at something like EA and how the fear of having a flop like kind of invites this narrowing of what EA could create until you get to the point where where they kind of can't create anything new. Mm-hmm. It's a good post. I recommend it.
AC Wraith has gotten hot and bothered. He says, come on, we got to start her in the proper MCU order.
Well, okay, by proper MCU order, do you mean Iron Man or Captain Marvel? I think Captain Marvel, no. The first Captain America, the first Avenger is, I believe, the first chronological MCU movie. Release order. Okay. Right. Okay. Look, I have all those movies on Blu-ray. When you come to my wedding weekend, I'll just have like a 24-hour Marvel marathon going in the background.
No, I don't want to do it that way. I want to be able to sit down and like do this, right? Kind of like watching Star Wars. Never seen a Star Wars. You need to watch Star Wars. You need to watch it because it's important. I know that MCU is important. So I need to, but it's so daunting. There's so many. I mean, it's hundreds of hours at this point, right? It's at least 100 hours.
Let's see. Look, if you're going to watch it, just watch the Infinity Saga, which is like from Iron Man to Avengers Endgame. And I believe that's maybe like 25 movies. And if it's 25 movies, average 2 hours,
It's 50 hours.
50 hours. Let's like bump it up a little bit and say 60 hours at most.
But that's not all of it. I'm still going to be missing chunks.
Hey, that's the good stuff.
It's the tough with logic.
After that, like, pick and choose.
Then you can fill in all of the blanks.
Then like, don't worry about it. You can just pick whatever you want. You don't need to follow it too closely.
Yeah, I see Ray says group watching with all of us in Discord. Maybe. It's a commitment that I don't kind of have time. I mean, if I'm going to commit 50 hours to something, I would rather commit 50 hours to like Nightreign or something.
I mean,
like that.
Man, that kind of puts into perspective that a short RPG is the equivalent of the entire Infinity Saga for the MCU.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in fact, let's move on to another story that is kind of related. Should I talk about? No, wait. We'll wait until the end of the. Put a pin in that, and remember this at the end of the show when we want to talk about fun stuff. Okay. So I guess it looks like I have more stories than you because I think we all both had the same stories.
Yeah, we did.
So speaking of Nightreign, Nightreign did launch obviously on day before yesterday, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, whatever, the 29th. It launched to a huge player count. It so far is the most played game of the year. It peaked on the first day at 313,593 concurrent players on Steam. Good. It has 150 players in game now-ish. So that's a lot of players. And it's a very respectable for any game, but it's also, right now, the one of the best performing games of 2025 so far.
That Elden Ring brand name is really strong.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. But what wasn't strong so far are the reviews, both user and critic reviews. They haven't been bad, but they aren't Elden Ring gushing the way that we expected from an Elden Ring based game.
Which I think is okay because like I said, I haven't even played this game a whole lot, but I really appreciate the thinking behind it in that, look, Elden Ring sold really well. We have a team of people. I think the director of Elden Ring, who's like the CEO of From Software, wants to bring people up. Like he wants to give people under him a chance to direct their own games and come up. Like he wants to foster the next generation of From Software creators. And so like the encounter designer from Elden Ring had this weird idea for kind of a spinoff. And he's like, let's take a lot of the assets from Elden Ring, reuse them to create this weird multiplayer version while the main team goes off and makes, their next whatever. And that feels like a better way to make games and like a more sustainable way to do business than, like what EA is doing or what a lot of other companies are doing. So I appreciate that thinking. And I like that it's different. And I think that's what made it mixed because, look, Elden Ring got a lot of praise because it followed like that From Software Dark Souls format in an open world. This is very, very different.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that the reviews would be worse just because it's such a different experience. But I appreciate From Software taking that risk.
Right. That's it's kind of funny that we bring that up immediately after what's wrong with EA. Because this is exactly the opposite of what EA is doing. And they're not just iterating on the same thing over and over and over again until it's dead. They're actually finding new ways to work within that universe to not only keep people in that universe, but also to attract different players into that universe that weren't there in the first place.
Yeah, they're using the safety of the brand name to do something different. Because, like, in theory, they could take the lessons learned from this to put into Elden Ring 2.
Right.
Like, to have a more cohesive multiplayer in Elden Ring 2.
Right. So when we talk about mixed reviews, what we're talking about, as
Corey
currently,
Wallace says, "Bless you."
oh, thank you.
Oh, he
67
also says, "Oh wait, where was it? He finished building his asshole of the year trophy this week."
Awesome. 67% of 7,400-ish, at least as of a little while ago, users said it was positive. So it was only at 67% positive. And currently, at least as of this morning, was at a mixed overall rating. Now,
I do. I'm thirsty, so I need to open the last one.
the last one,
Horchata
soda, the last of the, what was it, Lester's
Fixins.
gross flavored soda pack. How is horchata?
Not bad.
Well, horchata is delicious anyway.
It has a smell to it that I can't quite place.
Horchata?
It could be. It's not bad.
Yeah. I think horchata soda sounds actually really good. Sounds very refreshing.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry I interrupted you.
It's okay. Now, I did not know this until I was reading articles about how surprisingly mixed Nightreign's reviews are now. Apparently, when Elden Ring first came out, its reviews were a little not great as well.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see. Let me see. I'm looking at an article here. Come on. Let's see. I'm reading an article for back in 2022 that says that on launch day it had a peak of 764,000 players. Let's see. But it's not all good news. The news has attracted a swath of negative reviews on Steam thanks to its performance on PC. For PC users, even with the 1.02 patch available, there are stutters of up to 250 milliseconds in length when new effects, enemies, and areas appear on screen. So yeah, it had its issues. Now, I don't know why people are rating it lower. I don't know that it's a performance issue. I think that it is because it's not Elden Ring.
I think it's just
not a Dark Soul.
Yeah,
so
it's
they were
not
expecting more
that type
Elden
of
Ring,
game.
and it's not. It's a different game, and that's fine. That's good.
That's also important to like keep that in mind. Like Elden Ring got some poor user reviews initially because of performance problems, but that can be fixed, and I think it was fixed.
Right.
This is getting the mixed reviews because of its fundamental design difference.
Right.
That's not going to change.
No, but also, adding a little salt for which you can take these reviews is that the people who are likely giving it the lowest reviews are the ones that expected Elden Ring 2 multiplayer. And that's not what this game is, nor did it ever say it was that. In fact, they're very smart in that I didn't play Elden Ring because I knew I wouldn't like it. And after watching you play it and enjoying watching you play it very much, I even more so knew that it was a game I would never, ever, 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 ever play. I would eat an Arby's beef and cheddar before I would play Elden Ring.
Oh, I don't know. We might have to test this theory.
That says a lot because I swore that as God is my witness, I would never eat at Arby's again, and that was 15 years ago.
I'm picturing you in like a Saw style trap with an Arby's sandwich and Elden Ring next to you.
Pick one. Yeah, pretty much. And I would pick the beef and cheddar. That says a lot. I am playing this game, and if it's a very big if, I end up enjoying it despite all evidence to the contrary. If I actually end up enjoying this game, I might consider Elden Ring 2. Even if it does brutalize me a bit, because I'm a little bit invested in the universe, and I'm not entirely intimidated by its brutalness because I've kind of gone through brutal light. If I'm interested in brutal heavy, I might be a little interested in brutal heavy if I experience brutal light. I'm the frog. They're boiling the frog. Get me in the water, and they're just going to raise the temperature just a little bit. So it's uncomfortable, but it's not going to kill you. And then when Elden Ring 2 is like, well, it might be a little bit worse, and then it's just like, it just boils. It kills me.
I mean, there's a weird acquired taste of the whole genre. I
Right.
think I've said before that I played Demon Souls when it first came out, and I hated it. I thought it was terrible. And then for some reason, I after hearing all the praise for Dark Souls, I played it, and then I got into it. I was
Right.
like,
You
oh
get
shit,
hooked into that.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like it's a very good way to say it. It's an acquired taste. And the thing is that in order for me to acquire that taste, I must taste it. Elden
Yeah, you
Ring
need an on ramp.
was never going to. This, at least I am, getting the kids menu version of it. And I'm aware of that. But I'm also doing it with training wheels. I'm doing it with friends. I have someone to guide me. I have someone to kind of keep me going when I would normally just go, fuck this game and return it. So
Yeah,
they're
playing anything with
very
friends
smart.
makes it a little fun,
Yeah,
more fun.
yeah, exactly. And it encourages you to keep coming back. They're very smart, not only in kind of dialing it back in a little bit, but also turning it into multiplayer. Because that's going to be people like me who would have liked to have played Elden Ring, but were way too intimidated and not going to even try. No matter how many times people say, oh, yeah, you should try it. It'd be like, absolutely not. This is going to encourage me to try it at least and get that taste that I may acquire enough to do Elden Ring 2 when it comes out. Or might even go to Elden Ring. If I end up liking Nightreign, I may actually play Elden Ring.
It would be really interesting if that happened because, like I said earlier, the pace of those games is so very different.
Right. I may go back to
that'd
Elden
be
Ring and be
fascinating.
a little disappointed that it's not Nightreign, but I also recognize
Yeah, that would be really funny. A lot of people like, I don't like Nightreign because it's not like Elden Ring, and you're like, I don't like Elden Ring because it's not like Nightreign.
Two great tastes that go great together.
Yeah, play Elden Ring while drinking fixins.
Absolutely not. Yeah, actually, I'll drink the fixins
backwards.
before I play
I
Elden
need to figure out how
No,
to
it's right way. It's when you see it, it's backwards. Like my
really?
this is backwards for me.
Oh, that's good to know.
And fun fact, on my screen, I am on the left, but I know because this is backwards that I'm actually on the right. So on my screen, doing this points at you, but in reality, on YouTube and everywhere else, doing this points at you, even though that's
Oh, really? Okay, wait. I can with the magic of technology.
Yeah, go
Oh
back and
shit,
look at an old look at last week's episode.
Oh no, I'm looking at this episode right now.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, you're on the left.
I'm pointing at you now.
Oh, and you're right. It's correct. Oh, good.
I'm pointing at you right now, right? That's
yes.
you.
Yes.
Yeah, see, though that's off the side of the screen.
I can see.
You're out nowhere. But
it's just I can see the delay.
Yeah, you can see the delay. There's a significant delay between Nick and me live and you guys. All right. So
okay, I need to close that.
Thank you for the link for Lester's Fixins. Yeah. Don't know what we're gonna do now. What are you gonna drink now that you're done with the Lesters, dude?
Coffee.
True that. Fair play.
Okay.
Let's see. Is there anything else you think that should be top of the fold on my articles? Because I know that you didn't put a bunch of articles in because I already had the headlines in. So
there's a couple of Xbox news things that, Xbox, Microsoft news things that are pretty big.
Okay.
Let's start with the happier one. The ZeniMax QA team that has been spending 2 years trying to negotiate a contract with Microsoft after they said, yeah, we will absolutely approve any union if it means we can acquire Activision. Yeah, we have no problem with unions. And they did. They let different teams unionize without pushing back. But then when it came to contract negotiations, took them a long time, dragging their feet. 2 months ago, the QA team voted to authorize a strike and approved that pretty much unanimously. 2 months later, all of a sudden, look, they have a contract. They don't have it yet. They haven't signed it. It still needs to be voted on by the union.
But I'm sure the union is recommending it.
Yes, the union is recommending it. It includes...
I'm still listening. I'm just off camera.
Okay. It includes a substantial across-the-board wage increases, minimum salaries, protections against arbitrary dismissal, grievance procedures, protections around the use of artificial intelligence that could impact workers, crediting policy to ensure that QA workers are credited in the games that they work on. So all that stuff is like exactly what they were hoping for. That's what the union is there for, to ensure that those things that you would hope would be standard practice but aren't become standard practice.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's pretty much a given that the union will approve this. And yeah, the vote is going to be held on June 20th. And yeah, it's about goddamn time.
So now
Xbox.
I just realized my camera is off. Sorry. I am adjusting. Oh, there we go. Yeah. And now that you've got the happy news, let's get the not so happy news.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's this.
Yes. So there's been a lot of talk about Microsoft creating their own handheld. Mm-hmm. There was some leaks like a couple weeks ago for the Asus. Like, people weren't sure if it was the Asus ROG Ally 2 or if it was an Xbox branded ROG Ally or a Asus handheld made in conjunction with Xbox. But there's been a lot of talk about Xbox working on its own handheld. A new report has come out from, I believe this is from, Windows Central, says that Microsoft's priorities have shifted and that now, instead of creating their own handheld, they're just looking to work with third-party devices to improve the Windows 11 performance on handhelds. So they basically, which fits because, the way Xbox has treated its hardware in recent years has been to de-emphasize it. And so it kind of makes sense that, they're saying everything's an Xbox. You don't need an Xbox. I've got an Xbox app on my LG TV. You can stream games from anywhere. Everything's an Xbox. And so it makes sense that they would deprioritize hardware and instead focus on software for third-party developers. Mm-hmm. Which, depending on, I don't know, if you were looking forward to an official Xbox handheld or not, like, that would be really disappointing.
It would be.
And
I know that you were you almost were holding off on getting your Asus because you were thinking that there might be an Xbox handheld.
I was, until they raised the prices on everything. And that's kind of when I realized, well, if they do come out with a handheld, it's going to be obscenely expensive. More so than like the ROG was itself, which is already like pretty fucking expensive. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this also kind of brings into focus Xbox and hardware are like EA and video games. They don't really mix. They don't seem to work. And it really brings into question Xbox's ability to create any hardware. Like,
yeah,
what will they do? They de-emphasized it to such a degree that I wonder if they still have the talent and like the wherewithal within the company to actually put out, an innovative piece of hardware.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I guess given the economic climate, because obviously they were talking about this before recent politics changed not only
tariffs and everything.
Tariffs, a whole bunch of other things going on. Obviously, they had this in the works and were considering this before everything changed. So I don't blame them for pulling back on it because, when you start to affect global politics and global economy like that, what it does is it reduces the amount of resources that you have available to do stuff like make new hardware when you don't know how much that hardware is going to cost. So you have to focus your resources on the things that are the most important. You have to do the priority things. And right now, their priority is putting out the next Xbox.
But is it?
Apparently.
That's what I have to question.
Apparently it is. It has to be.
Are they?
They have to be working on something hardware. They have to be working on something hardware.
I don't know. I question, even if they are, I question if it will ever actually come out.
Well, I mean, they have to be focusing on at least the new Xbox, if not of Xbox handheld, before they had enough resources to work on both. Now, if you don't know where we're going to be in 2 to 3 years, and that's about the time you're going to want that next Xbox to come out, then you're going to want to focus on that Xbox, not on the handheld. And we don't have the resources now to do both because heaven forbid that the shit show that's going on right now gets shittier. And then you're really stuck because then you've got 2 pieces of plastic and electronics that you've got to move because you've spent all of that money on the research and development on both of them. You're better off spending all the research and development on one of them and then marketing the crap out of that and optimizing that so that it is as inexpensive as you could possibly get it. So that, or how figure out whatever you need to do to work tariffs, if there are tariffs, if that's what the problem is in 2 to 3 years. Who knows what the problem could be in 2 to 3 years? It could be that the bottom has fallen out of the dollar, which would cause a global recession, if not a global depression. That's not off the table right now. So it could be in 2 to 3 years. It's not tariffs. It's just price because everybody's fucking poor.
Corey
when
Wallace
you don't
says,
know what's coming, you can't.
They're working on the X Connect.
Oh, wouldn't that be a shame, that it comes back just in time for Goalie to have abandoned it so he can't, be the guiding voice of Viva la Revolution to get it killed again. All right. So, yeah, I mean, if it is an X Connect, we got to buy one for Goalie. Big bow on it too. All right.
In the chat, AC Wraith has also mentioned about Microsoft and hardware that Windows 10 is getting extended security updates. I think Windows 10 was going to.
Oh yeah, it was going to be.
They were going to end support for Windows 10.
Really,
really, relatively recently.
Yes.
But then they've extended that out for like another 2 years, I believe.
You mean I could go back to Windows 10? Oh yes. Yes, I can get rid of Windows 11. God, I hate Windows 11. Oh my God, I hate Windows 11. And I switched over because I knew that the security updates were ending, and that
Oh wait, he says no, a paid service. What's the
pay?
What's the paid service?
You have to pay for the security updates to keep Windows 10. So Windows 10 is going to be a luxury item.
Oh, okay. From the link that he said, extended security updates for organizations and businesses on Windows 10 can be purchased today through the Microsoft Volume Licensing Program at $61 per device for year 1. So, yes, you can keep getting Windows 10 security updates for the low price of a video game.
I hate them. Oh my God, I hate them so much.
They are taking advantage of your hate for Windows 11 to extract
universal
more
hate.
money
It's
from
right. So that they turn Windows 10 into a luxury item. discretionary.
I didn't even notice that. Thank you for pointing that out. I would have missed that. I had to scroll down a little bit because that's not mentioned at the top.
And now I'm at the point of like, I could get the license for me. The company get a license for me and fuck everybody else. I could just put it out to everybody who uses PC because some people use PC, some people use Mac. So I can reach out to the PC users and be like, hey, are you using Windows 11? Do you hate it? I mean, would you prefer to use Windows 10? There's going to be people who'll be like, no, I've always had Windows 11. I don't want to go back. I don't want a new system. There's going to be people that were on Windows 10 that'll be like, fuck yes, and pay for those because it's going to be $120 for 2 years.
Yeah, just expense it to your business.
Exactly.
Let them pay for
It's not my money. It's my company money. $120 is cheap. Anyway.
How much for Windows Vista?
No, here's the thing. Windows 11, what it does is it automatically updates itself to Windows Vista, and you have to pay $61 a year to have it removed from your system.
What about Windows 8?
Windows 8? Nah,
Yeah.
Windows 8 is like the champagne of systems at this point.
They pay you to use Vista. And AC Race even says, I was on Vista for ages.
I know a lot of people who actually liked Vista. And I understand that. It's what you're used to. That's how it always is for operating systems. It's what you're used to.
Yeah.
And
Corey says, my computer's at the point of you should see the other guy.
Yeah. All right.
What am I using? I think I'm on 10.
You're on 11.
Am I?
I'm pretty sure you're on 11.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen your screen. I know you're on 11 because I'm on 10. I'm on 10 here. I'm on 10. Well, I just upgraded to 11 because of the whole security stuff. And I absolutely hate with a white hot heat of 1,000 suns to the point that I had to remove Outlook and find a link for old Outlook because it's like, they have the toggle at the top where it's like, oh, you can upgrade to the new one, or, you could always downgrade, but it's like you downgrade it, but it's still not right because they took out features. It will look like 10, but it doesn't have the features of 10 that they removed. So you actually have to go back and get Outlook 10 and upload it and use it and tell it to use that system as that email client as the default, not new Outlook that's got the graphics of old Outlook.
Yeah.
It's got the paint. It makes it painted to look like 10, but it's actually not 10. It's 11, which is.
Yeah. Rick, Windows 11 removed WordPad.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that Windows 11 did is it removed the ability to play different sound files for different types, for different things. I have rules on my Outlook that if somebody submits certain things, it will fire off a sound file. And if they do submit for something else, it will fire off a different kind of sound file. So like when somebody submits a new contract that I need to onboard, it automatically plays at full volume the Hallelujah chorus. If somebody submits a request for baseball tickets, we have season tickets for baseball that go up to people to use to give either to clients or to use for themselves in the company. If somebody fills out the form and submits for a request for baseball tickets, it plays the sound of a home run being hit at Oracle Park. So I can hear it come over. It's hard to ignore. It's very loud, but I know that somebody submitted for a baseball ticket, and I know when somebody submitted a new contract. Now, if it was just one sound, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have that priority in my head of like, oh, I got to take care of that. So that is not available on 11. You could do it in 10. You could tell it to play a different sound for different triggers.
Yeah.
You can't do that in 11.
And I always wonder, why do they remove those features? Because I can't imagine that it takes a whole lot of support to do it. Even if like not a lot of people are using those features, it doesn't take up space. Like, why remove them? I never
I
understood
don't
it.
know. I don't know. It's like, exactly. It's not like they actually had to spend take more time
Yeah.
taking it out than to leave it in. And I don't know why. So you heard me laugh because Random Rick Reviews said
Yeah.
GameHounds is still living in the "you got mail" days. I hate you, Rick. I really do. Yeah, the menace of WordPad. Yeah, the menace that it had to be removed. It had to be extracted and
burned
out.
Burn those bridges. Get it out of there.
I know you love me. I love you too, Rick. You're gonna be the death of me, but I love you. All right. So let's see, what else other news do I have? We already talked about the Nemesis-like system that hurts me in the heart. Oh, okay. So Atlas discovered that if you're going to approach a very famous voiceover actor to reprise a role, you better make sure that that person leaves that conversation happy, at least, instead of feeling betrayed, because they just might open their big fat yapper, and that's what happened this week. So, let me see if I can remember it. Where is it? See, that's that one. There we go. So the voice actor Yuri Lowenthal. He is the actor who did the Yosuke character in Persona 4. He put out a little, I believe it was on a tweet. On Blue Sky. He put out that he will not be reprising his role in the Persona 4 remake, despite him like doing all he could to get Atlas to hire him back on this game so he could reprise his role. We did not know about this Persona 4 remake before he actually said that. There were rumors, but it hadn't been confirmed. That's pretty good to confirm it. So he said, quote, the post is actually still on Blue Sky right now. It says, and for those who keep asking, no, I will not be returning as Yosuke for Persona 4 remake. I asked, maybe even begged, but they don't want me to come back. Everybody's like,
I mean,
really?
If he's not on it, he didn't sign an NDA.
Exactly. He didn't sign an NDA. Now, if he had been a smaller, I mean, he's a pretty famous.
Yeah, what has he done? Let me look at.
He's
I know he's done the
Peter Parker
in the Spider-Man games.
He's also kind of known for leaking stuff about Spider-Man over the Peter Parker. Yeah, so this is not out of character for him.
Okay, yeah, Naruto, Arcane, Big Hero 6, lots of anime, Bleach, Code Geass. Let's see. Xenoblade Chronicles, Avowed, Marvel Rivals. Yeah, he's a prolific voice actor.
Yes, he does not need this job. So it's not like he's burning. I mean, he burnt a bridge, but it's not the only bridge that he's got. He's got loads of bridges. So yeah, he's already done this once before when he talked very candidly about his role as Peter Parker in Spider-Man 3 before Spider-Man 3 was confirmed. So this is not unusual for him to do. But yeah, so he let it leak. And I doubt that he's going to be hurting himself too badly about that. So we know now for certain that there is a Persona 4 remake being made, and we also now know for certain that the voice of Yosuke is not going to be the same voice that it's always been. Yeah, Yuri Lowenthal. I mean, you don't know who he is, but if you've watched any of those, any anime in anime dub in the last like 10 years, you know his voice.
I mean, now I wonder
He
why
was
they didn't.
Ichigo. He was Ichigo in Bleach.
Yeah, the main guy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he's
that
doing.
voice is in. That guy is in so much anime because he's got a really good voice.
I believe was he Spike in Cowboy Bebop?
It's a good question. Was he? Go chat room. Thank you for the
I
link
think that
to
might
Yuri
be
Lowenthal.
that's Steve Bloom. Steve Bloom, who's like another prolific voice actor. Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah, it makes me wonder why they didn't want him back.
I don't know either.
I feel like
Maybe-
either the remake is just going to use the same exact voice line, so there's no reason for him to record anything new, or for some reason they're going with a completely different actor.
Possibly.
Maybe Yuri costs too much.
Maybe you're a costume. Maybe you're a costume.
Maybe they're like trying to get someone to do a Yuri impression.
Yeah. So AC Wraith did link to Shelf Life, the series. I'm not familiar with that. Oh, he says it's my favorite series starring voice actors you'll recognize dressed as action figures. So yeah, that happened, and I'm all for it. Did you ever play Persona 4?
No. The only Persona S game I played was Metaphor last year.
Yeah, I paid. Did I tell you the story of playing 3? I rented 3 from GameFly.
Oh, I remember GameFly. GameFly's still in
And
business?
never turned it back.
What?
So I paid a lot for that copy.
Wait.
I mean, I paid many hundreds of dollars for that copy.
Oh, you mean you didn't like keep it and because like with Blockbuster, if you just keep the game and never return it, and Blockbuster goes out of business, hey,
right?
you got
Yeah,
the
that's
game.
what happened. That's what happened. Is I still have the
you
game.
kept paying the monthly fee
Right, because I had to,
GameFly.
because it hadn't gone out of business yet. I rented it from GameFly long before GameFly went out of business.
Hey, GameFly's not out of business.
Oh, it isn't?
GameFly is still around.
Maybe they just forgot about me at this point, but they aren't charging me for it anymore.
Do you still have the game?
Yeah.
Is it next to your Steam Deck?
Fuck off. Yeah, I still have that game. So Persona, because first off,
oh hey,
that is a terrible game to rent. That is it. And I did not know this because it's like 200 hours. You should not rent that game. Number one. Number two is Persona 4 is even longer. So I did I complete Persona 4? I did. I completed Persona 4. I didn't complete Persona 3 because I mean it was at a certain point it was just like so long. But I did complete Persona 4. Great fucking game. Such a good game. Such a good game. But
you know what's also
it's like an MCU universe commitment.
Oh yeah. No, it's longer than that. Are you kidding? I put like 200 hours into Metaphor.
That's true. Corey Wallace says Yuri did the Prince of Persia lead character voice.
Okay.
The original Prince of Persia?
Probably Sands of Time.
Okay. And then AC Ray says maybe someone with common sense discovered you paid more than the game could be bought for. Yeah, that wouldn't stop them. No. This is welcome to America, dude. If they would happily charge me $1,000 for a $40 game.
Yeah. You know what? Also, I discovered GameFly also rents movies now.
Really?
Yeah. You can get Blu-rays, DVDs, 4K Blu-rays. Like, They expanded.
All right. So my next item is, since you're out of stories, we talked about that. We talked about that. We talked about that and that. Okay. Down to last few. This is a follow-up an update from a story we did last week about GeoGuessr. If you remember that the Saudis were looking to make GeoGuessr one of the events in the Esports World Cup, and GeoGuessr, they were in agreement. The CEO of GeoGuessr was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely," but the devs, the people who created the maps, were like, "We're not okay with this." One, that's kind of goes against the ethos of what this game is, number one. And number two is Saudi Arabia is an awful, awful, awful country. Human rights records, whole 9 yards, just bad, bad people to be doing business with. And they did not want their maps to be used by this abhorrent government for their esports World Cup. So they made a lot of developers banded together, and they just made their maps unavailable because they did not want their maps to be used as a map in World Cup. Go ahead, use GeoGuessr, but you're not using my map. So that was where it was standing last week. This week, GeoGuessr folded. The CEO of GeoGuessr said that they are not going to be part of the Saudi Arabia's Esports World Cup this year. In fact, he said the devs were calling it sports washing, the country's poor human rights record.
I've heard that before because Saudi Arabia has done this before. I think they bought a whole golf group, like Live Golf, Live Golf, and yeah, they're trying. That's basically their whole shtick now, is to try to spend a lot of their money getting sports people to come to Saudi Arabia in order to try to like rehabilitate
sports
their image.
Events. Yeah.
No, we kill journalists, but also come to us for golf.
Yeah. But you like golf, right?
Yeah.
As long as you're not a journalist, you're fine.
Don't come here to cover golf. If you do, you're dead. But if you come here to play, we'll let you in.
As long as you say exactly what we tell you to say about this, then you can more than welcome to come cover golf. But in fact, fun fact, many, many, many years ago when I was involved with the Drone Racing League, and it was starting to like early stages take off. And I remember we were down in Las Vegas and coming back, and we were all on like a team bus, so to speak. We were all traveling together on a big Airstream. The head of the company got an email while we were on the road and said, I just got contacted by the Saudi Arabian government to ask us if they want us to do a drone racing World Cup. I mean, this is 10 years ago. Wants to do a drone racing World Cup here, in Saudi Arabia. And half of us were like, fuck yeah! The other half of us was like, I don't know that I can go into that country because I am something that they categorically kill. LGBTQ.
Yeah, that
members were like, I mean, I'm kind of a big name in the drone racing industry, and I'm not going up stepping foot in Saudi Arabia, because if they find out that I'm transgender, it's over for me. They will jail me. And I cannot do that.
And for a group of that size that you were, that's like, well, this is either a golden ticket or nothing.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to turn down.
Well, I'm sure GeoGuessr was like that too, that this is kind of a golden ticket for us. We are going to be big time. We're going to be an event, an esports event. So anyway, the CEO of GeoGuessr announced, his name is David Antel. He wrote a statement on X. I've seen your reactions over the past few days regarding our decision to participate in the Esports World Cup in Riyadh. When we made that decision, it was with positive intentions to engage our community in the Middle East and to spread GeoGuessr's core mission to let everyone, quote unquote, explore the world. That said, you, our community, have made it clear this decision does not align with what GeoGuessr stands for. So when you tell us we've got it wrong, we take it seriously. That's why we've made the decision to withdraw from participating in the Esports World Cup in Riyadh.
I feel like that's a similar statement a lot of these sports groups and games say is we're just connecting with fans in that area.
Yeah, and that's a lovely thought, but
A lovely sentiment to justify, doing a deal with an aggressive,
aggressively awful.
human rights violating government.
Right. Let me trying to pull it up here. Stand by. I am doing a share screen of this. Here we go. Here is the statement. Come on, baby. You can do it. Come on. There we are. So yeah, thank you for speaking up and sharing your thoughts, Daniel. We will come back with information on how the wild. Let's see. So we will come back with information on how the wild cards will be distributed as soon as possible. That was his last thing. So good for them that he listened, but he was kind of his back against the wall when it was like the golden ticket versus the entirety of his developers who he relies upon to make the maps.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about like his developers who work for the company. Obviously, they're independent developers that, I mean, it's a open world, open source kind of thing that you can create these maps. So yeah, I'm glad because it means in one of those rare moments that the little guy actually wins. So, and let's see, there we go. How 5 players got an esports World Cup tournament canceled. Yeah. But they're 5 players who contribute a lot to the making of this game. Thank you for the link to Gamefly. My next item is stand by. I'm looking for my banner. Okay. So, a couple of feel-good stories.
Okay.
Also, I forgot one.
I forgot what happened the rest of the week. This week is big. Like we talked about that briefly earlier.
Yeah,
But this week has both the launch of the Switch 2 on Thursday and the Summer Games Fest on Friday.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like,
I'm super surprised about that.
What a big week.
All right, so a couple of really kind of fun feel-good stories. First one is Clair Obscur. You will, like just the way it ended up happening, it was kind of cool. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 sold 33 million copies in 33 days.
No, wait. It sold 33 million?
That's what it is.
Or
is it 3.3 million? Hold on a second. 3.3 million?
It might be 3.3.
Yeah, let me just have it.
33 is like Elden Ring.
Yeah, you're right. I think I missed a point. Stand by.
I would love if it sold 33 million, but that's like a cultural movement level of that's like Call of Duty numbers.
Sorry, you're right. My bad. That is a typo. Fixing the typo. 3.3 million games in 33 days.
That's still really good though.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Let's see. I'm it's here somewhere. Okay, yeah. Just over a month ago it came out and it sold 3.3 million copies worldwide. So a nice bit of symmetry there.
Yeah, that's nice.
You're a numbers person.
And it's always nice to see like a good, unique game like hitting the zeitgeist and getting credit.
But interestingly enough, sold 3.3 million copies in 33 days. It sold 1 million copies in the first 3 days. So a third of its sales came in 3 days.
Yeah.
Even more threes.
A lot of threes. Clearly, this is going to be a trilogy, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it has to be.
But if Expedition 33, wouldn't the next expedition be 34?
I mean, I don't know.
Expedition 33 2.
Based on the way Act 2 ends, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen next. So,
true. All right. Fair point. All right, and then the next fun feel-good story is there was
Yeah,
recently...
he's right. Like the way it works, the sequel would have to be Expedition 32 because the number goes down. All the 34-year-olds are dead by the time Expedition
Oh, that's
33 rolls
right,
around.
because that's what the 33 is. I forgot about
That
that.
I would love for a trilogy to be like Expedition 33, and the sequel is Expedition 32, and the final is Expedition 31.
All right, so there was a study that was done. Let me get up to it. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. About how long it takes to beat video games historically. And interesting enough, that the study found that the amount of time that it takes to beat video games between 2023 and 2024 increased by 61%.
Can I
What?
edit that?
Oh, thank you. Beat, not beak. So games released in 2023 took an average of, I guess if you're going to still play them, 56.2 hours to finish. Games released in 2024 take an average of 66.2 hours to finish. Now, both of those numbers are well above the averages in any other years in the past decade.
No, that makes sense. And I think people have been feeling that games are getting kind of bigger and a little bloated.
Mm-hmm.
That it's just the run times are kind of getting obscenely long in order to force you to keep playing.
So, do you have any idea what is the longest game?
That's a lot.
Yeah, Ookie Bookie Spelookie is going to do that. Yes, sorry. Do you have any idea what is the longest video game to beat or to 100%? Actually, take it back. Longest video game to beat
Ever?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I have a list of the top 20 time to beat score. Also, it includes a number that is 200% the game.
Okay, time to beat main story or just time to beat 100%?
Time to 100% is different than time to beat. I would imagine that means mains. Well, I think it's a combined main story and side quests.
Okay.
I
The
think.
longest game?
Because they break it down into main hours to beat, main story plus side quests, and the game 100%. And then it has a time to beat score.
Do they count MMOs?
No. These are discrete games.
Like, part of me wants to guess something recent, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla or Odyssey, which I knew were huge, but I think there are some older games that would just...
Let me also give you a little bit of a hint. I don't know if it's a hint or help. Out of the top 20 longest games on this list, just 4 have an average player rating below 80%.
Okay, so they're all beloved games. And
I think in the last 2 years, I only see 2. 3.
Really?
Yeah, I think that only 3.
Actually, yes, Corey Wallace. People have beat ET. There's actually a speedrunning community around beating ET. That's mainly based around luck.
See, AC Reef, you don't get to guess because you found the link to the study.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. So you don't get to guess. Anybody in the chat room, you can guess as well. Guess in the chat room.
Then I'm just gonna say Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla is on the list, and it is...
I think that would be, I want to say lower 10.
19 out of 20.
Oh, okay.
Let me tell you this, that the number 1 for time to beat does not have the longest 100% time.
Okay.
The longer that game at number 1, the 100% time is 469 hours to 100% the game. And it's not the longest.
Okay. Kingdom Come Deliverance.
And number 1 and number 2 are the same series.
Oh, geez. Is Kingdom Come Deliverance on the list?
No.
Persona. No. Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga something.
Not the Digital Dog. I'll give you this one. Persona 3.
Okay.
Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3 is number 11.
Oh,
and
man.
it comes in at 50.43 is the time to beat score with 137 hours to 100% the game.
Okay, so 50 hours is on there. Okay, in that case, if we're talking 50 hours is limit. Also, I don't believe for a second that you could beat Persona in 50 hours.
That's what I mean, is that's just blazing through, just finishing the game.
Okay, Red Dead Redemption 2.
No, not even on the
No?
list.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Not on the list.
Fuck. What are the huge games?
There is another Persona.
Elden Ring.
No.
What?
There is another Persona on the list that is number 5. Do you want me to give you that one as well?
Is it Persona 5?
Yes, Persona 5 Royal.
Okay.
61.17 hours to beat, and 142 hours to 100% the game.
Man, if Elden Ring isn't on there, what other games have I put like 100 hours into?
Corey Wallace says quickly goes to the link to make an educated guess. Don't you dare.
Okay. Final Fantasy 7. No.
No Final Fantasies.
No Final Fantasy? Shit.
Mm-mm.
What the hell are people playing? What are these big games? Horizon Zero Dawn.
No.
Horizon Forbidden West.
No.
God
there
of
is
War?
an Elder Scrolls. No God
Elders. Oh, Daggerfall?
No.
What? Morrowind.
Yes.
Okay.
Elder Scrolls Morrowind, Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, 47.97 hours to beat and 320 hours.
That sounds more like
100%.
my Morrowind experience.
Yeah.
Oh man, then what games? I thought I had all the long games.
Corey Wallace guesses Skyrim. No.
Okay,
I take it back. No, I take it back. There is one Final Fantasy. My bad. There is one Final Fantasy on the game. It is number 20. Skyrim is not on it. The only Elder Scrolls, let me double check this. The only Elder Scrolls on the list is number 14, and that's Morrowind that we just talked about.
Okay, start from number 20 and give me the answers going up.
Number 20 is, do you want to see the list?
I want you to tell me because I don't want to see all of it at once.
Okay, all right. Number 20, Final Fantasy 12. 43.6 hours to beat and 159 hours to 100% the game.
Okay.
Number 19, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, 44.10, 148 to the game. Did you say 4? Did you guess 4?
For what?
Persona 4?
No, I didn't.
Okay, Persona 4 is 18.
Oh.
It's 44.12 hours to beat, 116 hours to 100% the game. Number 17, Divinity Original Sin 2.
Oh, is Baldur's Gate on there? Baldur's Gate 3?
Number 10.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe I forgot about
Baldur's Gate 3. 50.72 hours to beat and 169 hours to 100%.
Okay, yeah.
So Divinity Original Sin is 44.25 to beat and 156 hours to 100%. Number 16, just about that, Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh, yeah.
45.97 to beat, 155 hours to 100%. Number 15, Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Oh, no.
46.40 hours. So 1 hour longer. No, half hour longer.
Is this just like the Xenoblade Chronicles series?
No. That's the last of the Xenoblades. 173 hours to 100%. Then there was Elder Scrolls at number 14, the Morrowind, 47.97 to beat, 320 hours to 100%.
Yeah.
Number 13, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Oh, really? That would be longer than Xenoblade?
49.12 hours to beat.
Huh.
189 hours to 100%. So longer in both categories.
Okay, wait. I want to guess. What's a game with super long cutscenes?
There's no
Metal Gear
Metal
Solid
Gear
4?
Solid. No, Metal Gear
Death
Solid.
Stranding?
No.
Shit. What else did Kojima do?
No Kojimas.
No Kojima? Damn.
Kojimas.
Okay.
Number 12.
What was it called? Xeno Saga?
No.
No, okay. That was
But
like a
I'm
PS.
surprised that you haven't figured out the obvious one.
Can you tell me what letter it starts with?
X.
X.
Let me go over number 16, Xenoblade Chronicles. Number 15,
Corey says he was
Xenoblade
just going to
Chronicles
say.
and Metal Gear Solid 4. Yeah, no, he's not on there. Metal Gear Solid 4 not on the list. So number 16, Xenoblade Chronicles. Number 15, Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Wait, is it really Xenoblade Chronicles 2?
Xenoblade Chronicles 2, number 9.
Oh my fucking god.
51.13 hours, 256 hours to beat. So let me continue on the list. So Witcher Wild Hunt.
Is the next one Xenoblade Chronicles X?
No. That's the end of the Xenoblade Chronicles. So we left off at the Witcher Wild Hunt at number 13. Number 12, Valheim. 50.38 hours to beat, 143 hours to 100%.
Oh, I would never have guessed that.
Then there was Persona 3, 50.43 hours to beat, 137 hours to complete. Baldur's Gate, 50.72 hours to complete, 169 to 100%. Then Xenoblade Chronicles at number 9, 51.13 and 256 hours to 100%. Now, we're getting in the top 10.
Minecraft.
No.
God damn it. Clearly my knowledge of
anybody else in the chat room want to be asked?
The way I play games is like, if you look at how long does it take to beat? Okay, triple that, and that's probably going to be my time.
Yeah.
Oh God. Like it's not Grand Theft Auto, not Red Dead Redemption 1. No. What are long games? Okay, I'm just going to Google long games.
No, don't Google. All right, I'll tell you. Number 8. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. 51.40 hours, 247 hours to 100% the game.
Okay. Yeah. I would not have thought of that, but that makes sense. Okay, then Breath of the Wild.
No, not on there. That is the longest one. Sid Meier's Civilization 5 comes in at number 7. 51.40 hours to complete, 247 hours to 100%.
Okay, that makes sense.
Number 6.
Nobody here but us. Oh, Corey Wallace guesses Roblox?
No, Roblox is not on there.
No.
But Chaos has played a lot of number 6, probably still playing a lot of number 6.
Wolfram?
Monster Hunter World.
Oh.
55.56 hours to beat, 424 hours to 100%. Not the longest to 100% by orders of magnitude.
Oh, God.
So we mentioned Persona 5 Royal, which was 61 hours. So we're now getting into like 60 hours plus to beat the game.
Yeah.
142 hours to 100%.
And this is like main story only. So.
Well, it's not main story only. No, the main story for Persona Royal was 101 hours. The story plus side quests 123 hours. 100%ing the game 142 hours, and the time to beat score is 61.17 hours. Now I'm not sure how they calculate that.
Okay, so it's like an average of main story and side quests and 100%.
Right.
Still, I feel like it's
or it's a factor of it because it's 101, 123, 142, and it's 61 hours to beat. So I don't know really how they calculate it, but that's how they calculate it. Do something. All right.
Yeah, so, and Acer says they don't count live service games since they don't end.
They don't end. They can These are discrete games beginning and end. That's why, and there's no MMOs. I mean, obviously, World of Warcraft would be top list. All right, number 4.
It's not Elden
Payday
Ring.
2.
Payday 2? What?
61.25 hours to complete. 533 hours to 100%. Not the highest number on the list. 27 hours for the main story, 155 hours for the side and story quests, and 533 hours to 100% the game.
Oh, I never would have guessed that.
Nope. All right. Now comes the ones that you're going to be kicking yourself about.
Okay.
Although you kind of won't, because these are deep cuts.
Okay.
Number 3, Path of Exile.
Okay. Okay.
61.95 hours to beat. This is the highest number to 100%. A whopping 684 hours to 100% the game.
It's pretty good for a free-to-play game.
Hold on a second. Let me do some math here. What is it? 684 divided by 24. It will take you, if you played like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 28 and a half days to 100%.
Okay, that's an entire month.
It's a month. All right. So these are the top 2. They're in the same series.
Okay.
They
So
are
wait,
old.
what?
They are old.
Okay,
they're very
old. Can you tell me what platform they came out on?
They were mainly Nintendo, and I played them on Xbox.
Nintendo and Xbox.
This is a very old. These are like 15, 18 years ago, 20 years ago.
Very old. Man, that was like the heyday of my gaming time.
The heyday of your gaming time.
Okay,
this
so like
is something
around
that you would have purchased, and you would have spent hundreds upon hundreds of hours playing.
Like around the 2000s era.
Mm-hmm. Let me make sure that, because it's not the only 2 in the series.
Can't be Halo because it's on Nintendo. If it's like what
it
connects
came
Nintendo
out,
and
yeah,
Xbox?
2020. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. 2020 is number 2, although it is an older series. And
okay. 2020, not Demon Souls.
And number 1 came out in 2012. So 2012 and 2020 or 2020. But it is a very old.
No BioWare, Nintendo. Like, it can't be Castlevania. It's not gonna be a Mario. It's not gonna be a platformer. It's got to be an RPG. But when I think Nintendo and RPGs, I think Final Fantasy.
I guess. Very highly rated. I take it back. The number 1 was on the Nintendo 3DS.
Nintendo 3DS.
And number 2 was on the Nintendo Switch originally, but I believe it went to everything else as well.
AC Wraith says, hint, anthropomorphic debt.
You're not wrong.
Anthropomorphic debt. Okay.
I would, the way that Wikipedia
lost?
characterizes it as a genre
Cat
is an adventure game and a social simulation game.
Oh, Animal Crossing?
Animal Crossings.
I would not have guessed Animal Crossing to be that long.
Yeah. Animal Crossing's New Horizons comes in at number 2.
Anthropomorphic debt. That's pretty good.
That is true. That's why I was laughing about it. Animal Crossing's New Horizons. Actually, I will now post this so that you can see it. Animal Crossing's New Horizons at 70. To move my screen now. 70.74 hours time to beat score with 421 hours into 100%. And Animal Crossing's New Leaf, 82.10 hours to beat, 469 hours to 100%. The longest game, as far as in this top 20 list of time to beat score, for the main story by a very long shot is Persona 5 Royal, 101 hours.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it doesn't have much side quests, only 123 for story and side quests. So only an extra 12 hours.
And then what's the highest with main quest and side quest?
Highest main quest and side quest would be, there's 125, 155 Payday 2.
It would be
196 New Leaf.
Damn.
Followed by Payday 2. And then followed again by...
Oh, it looks like Civ. Just barely with Civ.
125, right. And then, yeah, and tied with Wild Hunt.
Oh.
They're tied for third.
He says you're making him second guess himself when you say, let me take it back.
But isn't that an interesting list? I never occurred to me to even think about longest games ever. But now you know, authoritatively, the longest games to date ever, Animal Crossing, top two Animal Crossing games, and that Baldur's Gate actually made the list.
Yeah.
And, yeah. And that the longest game by a lot for 100%ing is...
Path of Exile makes sense. You know what? Surprisingly few like open world games. You got Xenoblade on there, you got Monster Hunter on there, but like no Rockstar, no Assassin's Creed.
Nope, we have Witcher Wild Hunt.
You got Valhalla. Yeah, I would not have expected Wild Hunt to be longer than Valhalla.
And Final Fantasy is down in here.
Yeah, it's even the main story for Valhalla is longer than Witcher 3, but Witcher 3 has like but like not by a lot. And I've heard Valhalla is such a sprawling long game, and yet Witcher 3 has a longer side quest by a pretty significant margin.
Yeah. It had a lot of side quests. Let's see. Corwellis says, now guess how many hours I'm into ESO. Yeah. Actually, how many hours are you? I would say you're crossing into the 2,500 to 3,000 hour mark.
I would say quadruple digits.
Oh, definitely quadruple
4 digits.
Yeah. No question that it's 4 digits on him. So that's not my funnest story. My two fun stories are both have to do with studies. So there was another study that came out, and let me get to it.
Well, I will say I'll pitch something. That's really fun, and that reminds me of Kind of Funny Games has a game show. Whether it's a Game Showdown, and you can watch it all on YouTube. Like there's a YouTube playlist, and it's basically they play various trivia games about video games, and a lot of it is, what's the Family Feud style, where he'll say, we quiz the audience on, name the most handsome video game character. And so then the contestants have to go like, okay, what would the audience say is the most handsome video game character? And they're like, okay, Nathan Drake. And it's like, oh, that's number 4. It's like, oh shit. Okay, who's more handsome? Who's less? Like, oh, Solid Snake. And it's a lot of that. It's a really, really fun series. Fun to play along with it.
What's it called?
It's a Game Showdown.
Okay.
Put on by Kind of Funny Games.
Okay. I will absolutely.
Just search YouTube for Game Showdown. And yeah, it's super fun to watch. I highly recommend it.
All right. So my last item. I have done this more times.
No. Lies. You are not billions
You're
of
not
hours.
Billions of hours in anything.
So.
You're not even billions of hours old, dude. Thank you. Kind of Funny Games Showdown. Thank you so much. So, I have done this. I have done this with many, 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 many games. Now, have I actually gone and followed through on this? No. But mark my word, if the boy and I stay together, we will be doing this because we've already figured out what we're going to do and what we're going to call it.
Okay.
Really? He just walked in. Yeah, that's me blushing. All right, here it is. New study came out. New study. that shows that video games are now inspiring a surprising amount of actual travel to destinations. According to a company called Skyscanner that does research on travel industry trends and that kind of stuff, at least 35% of US travelers are inspired to book a trip overseas based on a video game that they have played. Let me pull up the entire. It's
You know
it's
what?
one of those.
I'll
They're
bet the
calling it.
Assassin's Creed series has inspired a lot of travel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's inspired a lot of travel. Well, I was talking to Chris about it the other day about how I had when Battlefield 1 came out, and one of my favorite maps was Liège. And it happened to be when I was going on a trip with Kevin and Ian together, like a big backpacking all over the place. And we went to go visit a friend who lived in Liège and to actually be in the place where I had been fighting 2 days before in a game. It was kind of cool to be able to like see the streets and have seen them when they were all screwed up and bombed out by World War One. So anyway,
man, I remember after college, I did like a tour through Europe, and I remember being in Venice, and like as I'm walking, and this is before Assassin's Creed 2 came out. Assassin's Creed had come out, but I was walking through Venice thinking, man, this would be perfect for Assassin's Creed. There's lots of stuff to climb on.
Yeah.
And then they announced you could like go through Italy in
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed 2. And I thought, this is
in
perfect.
the Italian Renaissance.
I'm climbing on things that I had visited previously.
Right. So yeah, video games, conventions. They're saying that there's a lot of travel to being done by video game for people going to video game conventions, video game events. But there's also a lot of travel being inspired by somebody seeing something in a video game. And it's like, I want to go see it. Most recent one for me playing a game was Kingdom Come Deliverance, when I realized that I could actually go to what's the city that was on here?
It starts with a K.
K. It starts with a K. What's the name of the main city?
Kierkegaard.
Kuttenberg.
Yeah, that's it.
That the castle in Kuttenberg does exist still, but it doesn't look anything like it did back then, but they know what it looked like back then.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
Rick says, I play games so I don't have to travel.
Got a point. So anyway, let's see. Building on last year's trend of main character energy, where travelers step inside the shoes of their favorite characters in TV and film, 35% of U.S. travelers are inspired to book a trip abroad based on their locations from a favorite video game. They also did some research on how much it changes, travel changes for conventions, Games Con in Cologne in 2024. 508% increase in searches on Cologne versus the previous month. TwitchCon, 167% increase in searches compared to the first month, the month previous. In June 2024, a 10% year-over-year increase in bookings of hotels with game consoles. So people are traveling with their consoles. Number 1, Sydney, Australia, Da Nang, Vietnam, Bali, Indonesia, Chicago, USA, and Bangkok, Thailand. In fact, I thought this was a really cute graphic. Move over golf clubs. Did you know that some 28% of American travelers take a video game console away with them on vacation?
Thank you, Switch.
Absolutely. Pokemon. 2023, this is a link from the Pokemon Company International, a quote, looks like from Twitter. In 2023, we saw more than 1.9 million total attendances across the Play Pokemon program. Fans traveled from over 50 different countries and regions to compete or spectate. Pokemon International Championships will take place in Latin America in November. Took place in Latin America, and then in February it was in the Europe National, and then coming up is the North American Championships in New Orleans. They saw a 152% increase in searches during the week of the championships compared to the previous week, showing how much gamers want to connect and play in real life. Of course, esports is making people travel. And it is obviously something that the Saudi Arabian government wants to take advantage of.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are other things that are also affecting that they did studies on, that the research on how those types of things also affect travel.
Yeah.
But it is
boy.
interesting. That was the interesting statistic for me. That 35% of U.S. travelers are inspired to book a trip abroad based on locations from their favorite video game. So when the boyfriend walked in, and I'm like, mark my word, this is gonna if we stay together, this is gonna happen. We actually were like, I don't say pillow talk, but we were talking.
I mean, you're gonna travel to Paris because of the Saboteur, right?
Right. I was like, would be cool to go, because that was the whole thing, is that was a very accurate game to the locations. And that we actually, it's like, wouldn't it be great to like grab a car and go to all of the locations? Because that's the whole thing, is it was a car driven thing, and you could drive all the way across France, essentially. You go all the way across France to go to the ocean. You go all the way across France to go to the mountains. So you could hit all of these like key places, because of course he remembers them. But we called it the Saboteur.
Oh,
The Saboteur.
Okay, that's good.
So yeah, I would very,
you know what? If
very,
that
very
game
much love to do that.
That game had been a bigger hit, you would have official Saboteurs.
Oh, you would. Well, in Poland, after Kingdom Come Deliverance came out, they actually created tours. They actually created Kingdom Come Deliverance tours in Poland, where they would take you around to the locations of the different cities, either existing or where they were at one point, to see things, the places in the game.
Oh man, I gotta get us to go on one of those.
But listen, you have no idea how much Kingdom Come Deliverance affected the amount of tourism that came into Poland. And not, I mean, the main cities in Poland, Warsaw, all of them, they're always had lots of tourism. But going to the, like outskirts and hinterlands and the small towns, they saw it went from nothing to an absolute explosion of particularly American tourists coming to see these places that were in the game. And it's kind of a thrill to have been playing it and be so familiar with it, especially if you travel with your console and you play it the night before and then you go see it. And then you come back and you play it again and you see it afterwards. It's just so cool.
I think I saw in the lead up to Deliverance 2's release, there was a streamer that went to Poland, that went to Poland as part of like a promotional thing before the game came out. And she has a picture of herself in like one of the city centers. That's like, oh, it's recreated 1-to-1 in the game, and be like, oh, I was standing right there.
And a lot of games, I mean, starting with Assassin's Creed, they did massive amounts of research on their locations so that they could accurately portray them. Even though in some cases they were historical, they were able to go to places like Italy, like, not Sweden,
let's see.
Norway.
There was Norway. What else have they been?
Middle East. Egypt, a lot in Egypt that they could go back to
Egypt, Greece, Rome,
Caribbean. So there were a lot of places that they did very, very extensive, detailed research with lots of photographs so that they could use those as the basis of creating these historical locations, kind of using the existing places as the basis of it if they didn't actually have like artwork or something that expressed what it looked like at that time. Lots of places. Paris has been a center of many, many, many games. I think, was it Assassin's Creed? There was a Paris.
Yeah. I believe they actually used like some of the scans Ubisoft did of Notre Dame to help rebuild it after the fire.
Random Rick Review says, why would I ever want to meet another League of Legends player IRL?
There was some pretty good stuff in the chat. Let me see.
And here's a link.
Wallace. Oh,
yeah, he's got AC Wraith put in a link. Medieval video game sparks travel interest in Czech Republic. I'm sorry, not Poland, Czech. Czech Republic.
Okay. Yeah, Corey had said about his characters. What was it? Warframe? What was he in?
Oh, that's going to be
ESO.
Online.
Yeah. ESO. He's played it for 242
Oh my God.
days. Which let me actually calculate.
Yeah, let's. I'm going to calculate that right now. 242 times 24 plus 15.
Oh my God.
5,823 hours, 8 minutes, 58 seconds. And that's one of his characters, and he has 9 of them.
Okay, if I just multiply that by 9, we get
52,000
hours.
You haven't put in 50,000 hours, have you?
Comes out to 2,000 days, which is just under 6 years. Do you play anything else? Is that the only game you play?
5.98 years.
Holy
That's
crap.
Insane to me. But you've been playing it for
Okay, so wait. 6 years times 365 days times 24. Oh yeah, 52,000 hours.
52,000 hours.
Damn.
But that's assuming that he's played the exact same amount on all 9 characters. I'm sure there's some that he's played less. He's probably quoted the one that's the most.
The question is that the highest hour character?
Mm-hmm.
And then when we were trying to guess Gutenberg, he suggested Gutenberg. AC Wraith had a good joke. Safer and less stomach churning than Cronenberg.
I like Cronenberg.
I will visit Gutenberg. I'll visit Gutenberg. I don't want to visit Cronenberg.
No.
That city is going to be fucked up.
Yeah. So, that was I think that was my last kind of feel good. Did I have one more feel good story? I think I might have had one more feel good story. No, that was it. That was my last story. But I thought those last 2 stories were kind of fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
So if you were going to go, unlimited amount of money, you could go anywhere. Don't worry about geopolitics or wars or, terrorism or anything. If you could go today to any location in any video game that you ever played, what would be the location you would go to?
Probably something from Assassin's Creed. Like I'm trying to think of a video game that I've invested a lot of time into.
Where if you walked into it, you'd be like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah, not just like a world location that I would like to visit. I'm trying to think
of a game that you truly loved,
which is hard because the games I've invested the most time into are like Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate, Clair Obscura, the fantasy games. They don't exist.
Right.
So probably something from like Assassin's Creed 4. You know what? If I could visit any place, because it's so fucking weird and I have no idea what it'd be like in reality, assuming like guaranteed safety, I want to check out Nassau.
Nassau is very safe.
The pirate capital of Assassin's Creed 4.
Nassau is very safe. Haiti is not safe.
Okay.
Haiti's the one we want to go to, and probably parts of like you wouldn't want to roam around in what's the other one? Jamaica. You wouldn't really want to go rolling around in the non-tourist areas in Jamaica. But yeah, Nassau. I've walked through Nassau. Out into the hills of it.
I've seen enough of old-timey Nassau in Black Flag and Black Sails, the TV show.
That's right, Black Sails.
That was set there mainly. So yeah, I'd check that out.
In fact, I found an article, and it was National Geographic. And I'll pull it up here because I can so damn easily. It's an article that is these real-world destinations inspired the most popular video games. So this is the other direction. These are real-world locations that inspired games, as opposed to locations that you might be inspired to visit in a game.
Yeah.
And number 1 being Ultimate Game Day in Orlando, which is a blah blah blah.
No, that's just a
Yeah. Akihabara district in Tokyo. It's fine.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
but no, Valhalla and the Northern Lights.
That would be cool to see.
Absolutely. In fact, they even mentioned, and this was interesting that I read, that they have a the first digital museum dedicated to the Viking Age. The interactive exhibit includes digital walkthroughs of historic Viking ships, as well as virtual reality experiences of a Viking raid, which would be fucking cool. So then test your survival skills at Jernaldergarden, a living museum set during the Iron Age of the Stanvanger region, inspiration for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So this living museum was where Valhalla was inspired. Which isn't like, it's essentially, it's like a settlement. You go in and it's like, it's a settlement that everybody, actors go through it.
Yeah.
So, and also explore the landscape of Besikeden Ridge, including glaciers within
Jotunheim
Jotunheim
National
Park, which gamers may recall as part of the video game God of War Ragnarok.
I remember Jotunheim.
Yep. So yeah.
Okay, wait, what's Montana from?
From Far Cry 5 and Far Cry New Dawn.
Okay, yeah.
And then, of course, Luxor.
Yeah, Egypt.
Assassin's Creed. Also, not just Assassin's Creed Origins, but also Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Yeah.
Head to nearby Luxor souk in the Habaraba district, where street vendors serve full madamas and Egyptian stew recipe seen in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. And then Melbourne's playable city, which is another game inspired place.
Oh, okay.
With a Animal Crossing's New Horizon exhibit.
Okay. The catacombs of Paris.
Space Invaders tour and the Pokemon events as well. The Pokemon Go Fest, a walking tour of Paris.
I feel like that picture and the heading do not match.
Yeah. The tour's route is marked with hidden graphics and icons from the retro video game Space Invaders, which is true. It's just like exploring Parisian-inspired Lumio City in Pokemon Legends, the Z to A. Paris also hosts real-life Pokemon's events.
Yeah, that's like they have video game events, but not the video games that inspired them.
Right. But there are a lot of them, but are not big name games. Saboteur being one of them. Yeah. And then, of course, finish your journey with the tour of the catacombs, the inspiration for the final scenes of Assassin's Creed Unity. Yeah. The massive crypt holds a remain of 6 million people and just as many untold stories.
And the underrated horror movie As Above, So Below.
Oh. Chris, have you ever seen As Above, So Below? No. He says it's very good.
Found footage horror movie set in the catacombs.
Found footage horror movie set in Paris's catacombs. All right. So the last one, one of them, Peruvian Cultures for Treasure. This is in Uncharted. We forgot about the Uncharted.
Oh, yeah. Well, Uncharted is always going
locations.
He's always going to abandoned locations, right? He's going to ancient stuff.
Yeah. But also you're going to see things in the museums that are depicted in the game, which is kind of cool. So you don't have to actually go out and go into the Peruvian jungles. You can just go to the museums. Before you live out your Uncharted dreams, take your Bible notes, the botanical gardens in Lima. Look for the Cantuta bush. Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. They also mentioned Lara Croft and Indiana Jones, which makes sense. They're both... Yeah. All three of them are playing in the same sandbox.
Where is it? Its extensive collection of pottery and artwork provides clues to treasures found in the Museum of Peru and the Weapons of the World Museum, like Lara Croft in the video game Tomb Raider Legend. It all comes together with a visit to the ancient Chachapoyas Citadel, Cuilap. The carved stone walls and buildings hidden in the Amazon forest directly inspire the opening scene of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Wait, but the opening scene of the Great Circle was the opening scene of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, it kind of was. So anyway.
Well, before we go, I had asked Corey if that was the only game he played, ESO. He also plays Black Ops 6, where he's leveled 93 prestige. to get to prestige, there's 56 levels. Oh no, I think to get to prestige, you have to go. It's like 100 levels.
Level 93 Prestige Master in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. That's 56 levels of each prestige. So Prestige Master.
Yeah, to get to
with
prestige
10
1,
continuing
you have to get to
up to a level 1,000.
So damn. Okay, so
So
those
93, and there's 56 levels within each of those 93. That's insane, Corey. I'm concerned about. I'm concerned for you.
So look, we'll play ESO together because he can carry us. We cannot play Black Ops 6 together. He will destroy us.
He will destroy us in Black Ops 6.
You thought the Fell Omen like kicked your ass in Nightreign?
Oh,
that's nothing compared to Coy Wallace at Black Ops, what he would do to us.
Speaking of Call of Duty, there's a massive sale on all Call of Duty stuff right now on Steam, and I just purchased the last 2.
Oh, okay.
So what was it? Modern Warfare. I don't have it up, but yeah, I purchased the last 2 Call of Duty.
Oh, wait, yeah, okay. I messed up my math for characters. I'm going to ask AI to get a total for ESO.
Yeah.
Let us know.
And make sure you check the math. They don't cite references because it makes up stuff.
So wait, which ones did you buy?
I bought. Let's see. Where is my Steam? I'm launching Steam right now to see.
I played the last Black Ops.
They're 50% off.
They're Game Pass, and it's really good.
Oh, of course, it's updating Steam. Jesus Christ. Steam updates every hour on the hour.
Really does. I mean, the thing I noticed most about going back to Call of Duty after staying away for like a decade and plus, like the last game I played was Modern Warfare 3 and then Black Ops 6. Man, the moment you touch those controls, it's just, this feels good.
Yeah.
Oh, this moving around, shooting, it's just immediately like, oh my God, they have perfected this.
I bought, which ones did I bought?
I remember
I bought Black Ops 6.
There's some on Game Pass, but not all of them.
Yeah, there are some on Game Pass. Well, I did Black Ops 6. I believe that's on Game Pass. I did buy Modern Warfare. Yeah, I bought Modern Warfare and Black Ops 6.
Okay. Yeah, after playing Black Ops 6, I wanted to play the Modern Warfare trilogy.
Also, don't forget there's Call of Duty Vanguard.
I heard that one was okay.
Yeah, I did too. Call of Duty Warzone is free to play. So yeah, I bought Black Ops 6 and Modern Warfare 3.
Okay.
I really want to play Call of Duty World War II, but I like historical shooters. But that's why, but I like historical shooters in Battlefield, not in Call of Duty. I haven't played Call of Duty in, like you said, it's been at least a decade since I've touched Call of Duty. So, yeah, I'm sort of looking forward to it. It's necessary research, just to say.
Yeah. What are the COD Game Pass games?
I don't know.
Nice questions.
God, dude, we've been at this for almost 3 hours now. We need to stop.
Well, I'm looking. I'm
gonna have to start making dinner soon.
I could play Modern Warfare 3. Oh, I could play Modern Warfare 3 with you. It's on Game Pass. It should be cross-play.
I can't believe it wouldn't be cross-play.
Yeah.
I mean, I have Game Pass. I mean, I've got Game Pass thanks to, you and a little help from my Fire Stick.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you also have it on Steam, I think that would probably be a better experience.
It's going to be a better experience because you're not going to get any lag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How do we draw this out for another 7 minutes?
No, we're not drawing it out.
Almost 6 minutes. Almost 6 minutes.
No.
Shit, what's coming out? What is a movie? Hey, Chris, do you want to see Bring Her Back? Ask Chris if he wants to see Bring Her Back.
No, and I'm not asking Chris crap.
Oh my God.
We're not extending this another 7 minutes so you can make it a 3-hour show. I don't even like it being a 2-hour show, dude. All right. So, with anything else before we close out the show, do not answer that question.
Why did you ask that? Actually, yes, I do.
You do not get to answer.
According to IGN's news, the what? Okay, now I'll skip over that one.
Hold on a second. We have input from the boy who's probably going to make it go over 3 hours. Yes. Cliffhangers? What about it? Of course, we talked about closing the Cliffhanger studio. Are you kidding? We led with that one. We led with everything that's wrong about that on so many levels.
Ask him about Bring Her Back.
He's gonna see Bring Her Back, but not now, not yet. I suggest that today, and he went to go see Final Destination instead.
Well, it's not out yet. It's not out yet.
No, it's not out yet.
By the way, I think you would like Final Destination.
What'd he say?
You guys are just gonna make it go 3 hours. Do you want to get on here and you guys can make it go 3 hours? He said Final Destination has humor. I love it. It's a comedy.
It is. It's a dark comedy, but it's
dark comedy. Like Friendship was a dark comedy. Kickstarter introducing Pledge Overtime, now available to all creators.
Oh, that's actually a good idea. That's actually cool.
Yeah. I will after that because I don't need to share that on the show. It's about Smashburger. Smashburger.
Oh, okay.
The new place. Yeah. Anyway, we should actually go and have a burger there some night. RTX,
what are you gonna play?
Stop.
What are you gonna play this week? Oh, we have to set a time for Nightreign.
When do you want to play Nightreign?
I don't know. When are you available?
When are you available?
See,
here's the problem. Is if it's just us, because there's no duo option, we have to get either Chris or a stranger. And Chris is notoriously hard to corral to get to play again.
That's fine. We'll get a stranger. Poor John Doe is just.
Hold on a second. We have some input on that. He says he's free at the moment. We could jump on now. As soon as we're done.
Okay.
I mean, I need to drink some water and go to the bathroom and maybe eat something, but he hasn't even turned it. You should go turn it on because there is an intro area you have to go through.
Tell him he has to beat the tutorial boss.
Okay, but you have to beat the tutorial. But you have to beat the tutorial boss. All right, I will tell you about the introduction tutorial. I will absolutely tell you about that. And how wrong I was, but I did not know how wrong I was until I started the show.
It's 5:20. How long have you been on the air?
Since 2:20. That's what I'm saying. It's a 3-hour show. I want to go there, but you guys are talking. I wanted to leave. I've got to pee. Please.
3 minutes.
Please. All right.
We should just do 3 minutes of dead silence.
No, we're not doing 3 minutes of anything, Nick. No, we're not making this go 3 hours. This is shades of you in chaos.
Former PlayStation boss says stupid money crippled the game industry.
Well, that's something we will talk about next week. Thank you very much. All right. So on that note, let's close this out. You've been listening to GameHounds episode 783. We recorded this on Sunday, June 1st, 2025. I'm Edie Sellers. I'm trying to do this in under 2 minutes. I've been Edie Sellers. It's Nick Nicola. Ways to get a hold of us. GameHounds.net is our website. GameHounds@gmail.com is our email. We record the show live every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, here on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. On Facebook, we are The GameHounds. On YouTube, we are GameHounds Vids. On Twitch, we are The GameHounds. Please go like, subscribe. We are 100% Patreon funded. Please, if you're watching us, thank you for the Patreon link. We are 100% to Patreon funded. $1 a month is all we ask. That's 25 cents a show. It's a very good deal. Please, if you listen to us, if you like us, go and pledge. We would really appreciate it. It offsets the cost of this. If you have not seen our Discord, please join our Discord. We would love to have you as a Discord. Also, we do the show as a podcast after the fact. If you are listening to this as a podcast, please don't forget to subscribe and do leave us feedback. It very much affects and helps us to have a little something at the end of the show. Nick, thanks so much for being on the show. Everybody in the chat room, thank you so much. We'll talk to you next week. Have a great week.
Thank you, AC Wraith.
Bye, everybody.
Rick. Thank you, Corey Wallace.
Screw you, Rick. Screw you, Rick. You're on my list. You're on my list. All right, everyone. Have a great week. Talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you, Yuri Lowenthal.
Yuri
Thank you,
Lowenthal.
Forget Your Life.
Hey, here's the thing: is you're being stupid because we're still going to be on for 3 hours because we're not off yet.
Oh, I
You're
know.
being stupid.
But I want the live counter.
Tom, we're going to Dodger Stadium.
I have not told him I'm going to Dodger Stadium. I'm going to Dodger Stadium.
And
I think you've said that, yeah.
Yeah. And
The
what?
Hello Kitty event.
Hold on a second. I got two people talking in my head. Nick, shut up. Chris? Oh, in Disneyland. Yeah, no, we've already talked about Disneyland.
Yeah.
I'm going to Disneyland. All right, everyone in the chat room, thank you so much for being here. Have a great week. And I'm sorry it was such a long show. Blame that asshole right there. Have a great week. Bye, everyone.
We crossed it.